on the Money, Saturday mornings at 11 on 97.1 FM Talk. We have experienced tremendous economic changes in the last year. Today, historically low interest rates and spiking inflation present new risks and opportunities for investors. If you haven't made changes to your investments in the last year, it's time for a portfolio review. With 100 years of combined experience, our team can help you prepare for the risks relevant to today's investors. Contact the ClearPath Wealth Management Group at Stifel to request a free portfolio review at clearpathinvesting.com or call us at 636-695-2650. That's clearpathinvesting.com or 636-695-2650. Stifel Nicholas and Company Incorporated, member NYSE and SIPC.
Everyone here knows Diamonds Direct is the place to go for the best diamonds at the best prices. But did you know that savvy buyers from all over America, even Los Angeles and New York, now come here to buy their diamonds? These high-end shoppers have discovered that Diamonds Direct has one of America's best selections of large, rare diamonds, from 3 carats to 20 carats, all certified by the GIA, the most reputable and most trusted gem lab in the world. Because of Diamonds Direct's international connections and tremendous buying power, we're one of only a handful of jewelry stores in America that is able to offer a large selection of rare and precious GIA diamonds. In fact, Diamonds Direct's multi-million-dollar selection includes a stunning array of high-end Riviera necklaces, 20-carat tennis bracelets, and an extraordinary collection of rare, precious gemstones, rubies, sapphires, emeralds, and even the really hard-to-find fancy yellow diamonds. Come see why Diamonds Direct right here is the destination for high-end shoppers all over America. Extraordinary selection, quality, and unmatched value. And a short drive for you. Diamonds Direct. Olive and 270 at City Place.
There's a music station customized to your taste. Download the Odyssey app and browse the stations for your perfect fit. Brought to you in part by Macy's, Geico, and Coke Zero Sugar. On the Odyssey app and Odyssey.com. This hour of the Annie Frey Show is sponsored by The Loading Dock, River Views, outdoor dining, live music, and overnight accommodations. Visit GraftonLoadingDock.com.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
Right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
Did you follow that regulation? Did you have the appropriate agency ethic official look into this? Did you seek guidance as the federal regulation requires?
This memorandum is aimed at violence and threats of violence.
Understand that, but did you seek ethics counsel before you issued a letter that directly relates to the financial interest of your family? Yes or no?
This memorandum does not relate to the financial interests of anyone. It's against.
I take that as a no.
So Merrick Garland on Capitol Hill right now testifying in front of this House committee here. Merrick Garland, what a story Merrick Garland has been in just a few years here. Getting nominated to the Supreme Court by President Obama. Mitch McConnell famously did not engage in having a hearing to put him on the Supreme Court in that election year. And now he's the Attorney General. And now he's facing this House panel. Is this the This isn't the House Judiciary, is it?
You know, I don't know offhand.
They can ask him anything. Representative Nadler is the chair of this. You can't take him seriously, especially after the impeachment hearings. Man, those were so ridiculous. And then do you remember when the impeachment moved into the Senate? I guess it was the first one. You don't want to get your impeachments crossed up with President Trump. Do you remember when Representative Nadler was part of the prosecution, if you will? He was there in the Senate for the actual trial, so to speak. He would wander up to the microphone and start talking. And in the background, Adam Schiff and some of the people that were part of this prosecution, they'd be like scrambling, like, get him back here, get him back here, get him back here. And he'd make his way right up to the microphone and start talking.
Yeah.
He's something else.
He is. I don't want to beat up on him too bad.
No,
but
there's a way to talk about him, and there's a way that we're not going to.
He's almost a caricature of a human being.
Yeah.
But
like a cartoon character.
He is the chair of the House Judiciary Committee. I don't know if he chairs any others, but if that's the case, then that's what this is House Judiciary.
So they've been asking these questions of Merrick Garland today a lot centering around that letter that was released from the Attorney General talking about the domestic terrorists that are flocking to school board meetings across the country. It to me seems so politically motivated and at the same time so politically miscalculated. There's probably one thing that, regardless of political persuasion, there's one thing that politicians can do that will turn everyone against them very quickly, and that's to insert themselves between a parent and their child. Like, come at me, bro.
That's something that nobody should do. Understand your spot and then be like, okay, well, I'm in between the mama bear and the cubs. I need to take a step back.
Yeah, that was a mistake. This tweet yesterday from Randy Weingarten, who is in charge, the president of the teachers union. And there's this seems to be a consistent messaging that is coming out of people who are involved in public education, but also, generally speaking, the left. Randy Weingarten says, I think a lot of people forget that our children are facing immense trauma as the result of the pandemic and the isolation of quarantine and school via Zoom. Back the truck up, Miss Weingarten. Nobody's forgetting when it comes to our children. You mean my children. My children, there's no our here outside of my husband and myself. They are ours. They are mine. Stop speaking from a place of bureaucracy. The president of the AFT, this is the American Federation for Teachers. Is that what it is?
Yeah, that's it.
Her Twitter profile is AFT Prez, teacher, unionist, fighting for children and communities. Will back the French fry off of talking about children like they are part yours. They're not. Guess what? Your job is to educate them with the tax dollars that I make in my paycheck that end up going into the system. Your job is to educate those kids with my money, and they're my kids, and they're my neighbor's kids. They're not yours. There are children who go into the public education system who need more than what they can get at home, but it is not the default. And do not make the mistake of trying to push this idea. I believe it was Hillary Clinton was talking about this during the Hillary Clinton campaign. We have to stop thinking about, these children. We need to start thinking about them as like a community. Get out of here. Like, oh man, I can't. I just chugged a 5-hour energy. Brad watched me do it. After I took it, he goes, is that your tequila face? I think my tequila face is way not as embarrassing as my grape flavored 5-hour energy face.
I don't know how you did that.
Tasted like aggressive Dimetapp.
Angry Dimetapp.
Yeah. Like that Dimetapp. It doesn't actually have any caffeine in it. It's just the sour tartness that wakes you up and makes you, I had to stop yawning. We had a big day today.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun
and
today.
It's only 12:14, almost 12:15.
After that day today, you asked me earlier, it's like, are you a dress-up kind of guy? But after walking through that store...
Yeah, you saw a bunch of things you like.
I kind of am, I guess.
Johnny Brock's, who, of course, if you're familiar with St. Louis anything, Johnny Brock's Dungeon is the place to go to get your costumes. If you are looking for a costume, an affordable costume, I might add, that looks fantastic, they are fully stocked at Johnny Brock's right now.
Fully stocked. Like multiples of
We
each
didn't
costume.
even see the whole store. We were in there for 50 minutes.
I don't think I saw an empty spot too, where
No.
there was a costume that used to be there that isn't there anymore.
So the supply chain issues have not hit Johnny Brock's. They are fully stocked and ready to go. And in an effort to make good on my promise, if we get to 16,000 likes of the Annie Frey Show Facebook page, Brad and Trisha and I went to Johnny Brock's today because Brad and Trisha perused the store of some of the most ridiculous costumes that I've ever seen before and picked out some to show to Ryan Wiggins. And Ryan Wiggins is going to have the ultimate say in which costume I wear. This Ridiculous.
So I think this worked out the best because this way we didn't end up having Ryan pick the wrong kind of costume and have the final say. So you can pick whatever you want from this selection here that we have for you. So it's not going to be too edgy, but I don't know what he's going to pick.
So Ryan is going to have the final say of the options that are presented to him. Trisha and Brad pick some that are going to be incredibly humiliating for me to wear here on the webcam a week from tomorrow. So like our Friday show, that would be our Halloween show. And I'm going to have a video that's going to go up on the Annie Frey Show Facebook page either late tonight or tomorrow. So you can see some of the options that Ryan is going to pick from. And then we'll put that video up, and then you can go in the comments on the Facebook page and lobby for whichever costume you want to see me wear. But we got to get to 16,000 likes on the Facebook page. Otherwise, joke's on you. So
here's a question for you.
Sure.
If you have to dress up, does that mean Ryan and I have to dress up?
I would love for you to dress up and support me and the show in this effort.
So do my wife and I need to make a trip back to Johnny Brock's to find a costume?
Here's what I'm going to tell you. If you are in the market for a costume, if you've got a party this weekend, like a Halloween costume party this weekend, if you are looking for a costume, they have an amazing selection. Like I said, quality costumes that are affordable. And literally, like, if you can dream it, it's in there in some capacity. Things that you haven't dreamt of are in there in some capacity.
Listen, Trisha wore a helmet that I think Trisha needs to be the owner of.
Yeah, right.
The video.
Should have bought it for. You found a nice pirate hat.
I did.
That I think you're probably going to go back and get anyway.
If I can talk my wife into it.
Fantastic. I'll put that video up this evening. I have to get it together and get it up on the Annie Frey Show Facebook page. But if you want to see me dressed, here's what I'll tell you. There are different kinds of food that we saw. Like one thing that Trisha is obsessed with that I think she's really pushing hard for is a can of like Cheese Whiz.
Yeah.
I've never dressed up as food before. If you know me, you know that this is totally not my style. I would happily go to a party with my friends that was a costume party and not dress up as anything and not feel like a party pooper at all.
There were some presidential options.
Yes.
There was a PBS painter option.
Happy little treats.
Yep. Have you guys ever watched The Princess Bride?
It's the best.
There's some options from that movie. So
just go like the Facebook page. It's a win for me if we get to 16,000 likes on the Facebook page. So I will happily, be the life of the party in whatever ridiculous thing that I get put in, but we're going to need your input. So go like the page. That way, when the video goes up, you're going to be able to see it. For the show today, we've got Jack Posobiec. He's going to be on here when we come back. And I'm excited to talk to him because are you an NBA fan at all?
I am. Well, no, I'm starting to become more of one.
Celtics, is it Enes Kanter?
I couldn't pronounce that name.
Got to figure that out before I have to say it out loud to anybody who can hear me.
You mean on air?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was hoping I just nailed it. But I said that whatever Chattahoochee Nature Reserve sounds like everything ends up in Florida. He's the center for the Boston Celtics, and he came out and criticized China, and China came back and said, we're just not going to stream Celtics games in China anymore. He sent a pro-Tibetan message Wednesday by wearing a t-shirt that said Free Tibet, or no, his sneakers said Free Tibet. And he referred to President Xi as a brutal dictator. And China's like, I'll show you. We're not going to stream your games in China. That's a small thing on the scale of the other end of the spectrum being hypersonic missiles.
Well, Yeah.
What?
But prove to us you are who we say you are, China, because that's exactly what we're accusing you of, and that's exactly what you're going to do.
Yeah. A brutal dictator. He said, my message to the Chinese government is free Tibet. Tibet belongs to Tibetans. I'm here to add my voice and speak out against what is happening in Tibet under the Chinese government's brutal rule. He added, I say shame on the Chinese government. The Chinese dictatorship is erasing Tibetan identity and culture. So he just went out there and said it, used this platform to say that. Funny that he's in the NBA and deciding to take this bold stance. And China responded, President Xi responded by saying, well, we're not going to show your games anymore because they don't want that message to be out in China. And if he's wearing free Tibet tennis shoes, sneakers, and those games are being shown in China, China doesn't allow that. We have an expert in Jack Posobiec. He's lived in China. He understands the Chinese government, the CCP. He served in intelligence, and he is going to be with us when we come back. So stick around. Jack Posobiec when we return. And Tyrus at 1:25. Did you hear Condoleeza Rice made a statement? It's a really outrageous statement. She says, I don't have to make white kids feel bad for being white. Oh, really? Is this a controversial statement in 2021? Would love to hear what you think about that. Comment with us on our live stream on the Annie Frey YouTube channel. You can go to the Annie Frey Show Facebook page. We are streaming on Twitter, on Rumble, and Twitch as well. We would love for you to join us. Jack Posobiec when we come back.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show. Interact with Annie on Facebook. The Annie Frey Show.
Want to know what's really going on in the world?
Follow 97.1 on Twitter and Facebook and weigh in. They can't ban all of us. It's the world, the country, and the community. 97.1 FM Talk.
Tonight, a CNN exclusive. At a critical moment in his presidency, Joe Biden takes questions from the American people. Anderson Cooper moderates a CNN presidential town hall tonight at 8 on CNN.
Just got an email today from my school, my kid's school, saying that I need to update my kids' dental records. Good thing that they already saw the dentist this year. And I got my dental records in no time by just emailing Steve at Fountains Family Dentistry. They're very, very good about keeping all of that for you and getting it to you by email. I was able to take care of it in less than 60 seconds. Really great team at Fountains Family Dentistry, let alone the dentist himself, Dr. Ty Parker, who's a friend of mine, and I couldn't recommend enough. So if you haven't been for a couple of years, maybe because of COVID or just life's gotten in the way, and maybe that applies to your kids too, see my friend, Dr. Ty Parker, Fountains Family Dentistry. They are in Fairview Heights, Illinois, and they're very easy to get to no matter where you are. If you're in the Metro East, of course, centrally located there in Fairview Heights. But even if you're in Missouri, they're right off of Highway 64 across the river, you know, as you're going to St. Clair Square. Like, that's right by there. So easy to get to, Fairview Heights. You can visit them and find out more, and you can give them a call and make an appointment at fountainsfamilydentistry.com.
Hello, Marvin Mitchell here from Compass Retirement Solutions. Did you know that the average 3-year CD rate in the area was less than 1%? That's why we are excited to offer you several accounts that are short-term and pay better than bank rates. For example, we currently have a 3-year account paying 2.4% and a 5-year account paying 3.5% per year guaranteed. What a great place for your lazy money. You know, the money that you don't plan to use for the next 3 to 5 years. Now, terms and conditions do apply. So for more information, call 314-373-1598. Again, call 314-373-1598. This is Marvin Mitchell, and we would like to put your lazy money to work for you. Call 314-373-1598.
Guarantees are backed by the claims-paying ability of the issuing insurance company. Rates can change without notice. Investments and services offered through Compass Retirement Group, a registered investment advisory in Missouri and Illinois.
Dale Walmsley here. The first thing you're going to have to learn is until you stop expecting the politicians or anyone else to change your life isn't going to change. The only person who can change your life is you, but you need to know how. Listen to my show, the Dale Walmsley Radio Show, where the hype ends and the help begins.
You could be on your way to a better lifestyle and experience the life of your dreams. Tune in to the Dale Walmsley Radio Show, where the hype ends and the help begins. Weeknights at 7, right here on 97.1 FM Talk.
Springtime in St. Louis, and if you hate to paint, do what your neighbor Mr. Rob Miller from Harvesttown Auto Body in St. Peters did. He called Rhino Shield. Rob, what was the thought process for going with Rhino Shield as a business owner?
My family's business is over 10,000 square feet, and it did not have the curb appeal I wanted.
Rob, tell everyone how the experience was with Rhino Shield from start to finish.
The process that I liked was when you came out, you gave me all of these options that would fit my building. Our building was really faded. I don't want to have to paint my building again. 25 years is a long time to not have to worry about the outside maintenance of your building as far as paint. That's a no-brainer. That's why Rhino Shield worked for me.
Are your neighbors jealous?
I would be if I was them.
Thanks, Rob. Now it's time to call 877-25-RHINO. 877-25-RHINO or 877-25rhino.com. Genius.
No pain, don't Rhino. Go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
The Med Spa at the Institute of Natural Health understands how difficult it is to maintain healthy skin and how much this can affect someone's life. With the right combination of treatments and products, they can help you keep your skin looking healthy and more youthful, while also reducing and preventing damage. Take your first step towards healthy skin at the Med Spa at the Institute of Natural Health. Visit them at inhstl.com or call to schedule at 314-293-8123. That's 314-293-8123.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show. Follow Annie on Twitter @AnnieFryShow.
Can't explain all the feelings that you're making me feel. My heart's in overdrive and you're behind the steering wheel. Touching you, touching me, touching you.
What we did for 4 years, Sean, was make clear to the people of Taiwan that we'd be there to support them, to provide what they needed so they could defend themselves. And we made clear to the Chinese Communist Party that it was completely unacceptable if they took military action against the island of Taiwan. Those two basic facts were things President Trump was very clear he was prepared to defend. They could see that we did that elsewhere in the world when we struck Qasem Soleimani, when we fired rockets into Syria, when they used chemical weapons crossing President Trump's red line. I think they all knew that we were serious about protecting Americans. I think they realized that the debacle in Afghanistan, the fact the Iranians fired missiles from the Gaza Strip into Israel have all shown American weakness. And I see that the four things you walked through tonight, those are all things where America is showing weakness. And when you do that, our adversaries will do everything they can to put us at risk and to crush us.
Yeah, meanwhile, there's a million things we can pay attention to right now. Of course, everyone's wrapped up in the Virginia governorship, that race that's going on. There's the southern border. That seems to have the concern of some people, but not others. Like, the people in the administration don't seem to be paying a whole lot of attention to that at this point in time. We're labeling parents who are frustrated about what's taking place in their taxpayer-funded classrooms that they're sending their children in. Meanwhile, there's this thing in China going on, right? This continues to be the case. Mike Pompeo, they're talking about the Trump administration and the hard line that they took with the CCP, with President Xi. And now we have the story out of the Boston Celtics, their center gave scathing remarks about President Xi Jinping's actions towards Tibet, called him a brutal dictator. So what does China do? What you would expect China to do? They made sure that nobody in China would actually see this message, the message on the Celtics Center's sneakers. It says Free Tibet. The largest streaming provider said, no, we were not going to stream these games for the foreseeable future. Well, let's talk to an expert on China. Welcoming to the show, Jack Posobiec. He's a senior editor at Human Events. You know him on Twitter at Jack Posobiec, and he's with us now. Jack, thanks for coming on the show today. Great to have you back.
Annie, always a pleasure. Thank you so much for having me on again.
So this can't come as a surprise to you that the Celtics Center is delivering an anti-Chinese message and he gets shut down immediately. You know so much more about what is going on with the CCP, what their end goals are. Where does this fit into that understanding that you have about what they're working towards?
Well, the CCP predominantly has been using economic power to gain leverage, as well as they also built their military. So this is very in stark contrast to the U.S.'s conflict with the Soviet Union during the Cold War, because, of course, the U.S. and Soviet Union did not have the massive trade relationship that the U.S. and China currently enjoy. And so when you see things like the NBA, when you see things like Hollywood, of course, these organizations are trying to do everything they can to continue that relationship because they want to be able to market their films and their games and their teams all throughout to the Chinese market of 1.4 billion people. And so what is surprising to me isn't that the CCP, of course, would ban them, would urge this kind of fealty and political loyalty towards them. And we certainly have lots of political correctness here in the United States as well. But what is surprising to me that you have yet again another NBA player, we've seen this recently as well, standing up for what's right, standing up and delivering a message that actually matters, flying in the face of repression and really calling it out. You know, I actually had the opportunity to visit Tibet all the way back in 2006, and we saw what they were doing up there. We saw how the CCP was actually importing their own Han Chinese people from other parts of the country and then importing them into Tibet to do everything they could to basically assimilate that area. They're doing the same thing in Xinjiang with the Uyghurs. They're trying to build their own infrastructure, their own communities really around and demolish many of the traditional historic buildings and neighborhoods of Tibet, and specifically the capital city of Lhasa. Of course, as we know, the Dalai Lama has not been allowed back into Tibet since 1959. And currently, of course, when the Dalai Lama does eventually pass away, the CCP has basically all but stated that they are going to be choosing who the next Dalai Lama is. And of course, that's something that is always done internally. So this is a huge, huge repressive regime that we're seeing in Tibet. And the only thing that really surprises me, quite frankly, is the fact that, and I'm pleasantly surprised, that yet another person has decided to stand up for what's right, actually take a stand for human rights, and actually do the right thing.
Yeah, I would agree with that the NBA is one of the most prominent, I guess, Chinese apologist organizations that we have in this country, at least outwardly. And we've seen a lot of, looking the other way when it comes to the NBA and their relationship with China. It's clear that the NBA feels that they need China more than they need the human rights sins of China to stop. They haven't taken a hard line there. They've taken other human rights hard lines here on the home front for sure. Does it take more of these individuals in the NBA or in other prominent industries to stand up to continue to put the spotlight on this to actually affect some change? Is there hope that change could actually happen?
Well, I think that it is something where, of course, obviously one NBA player isn't necessarily going to stop the ability of the CCP to be able to control Tibet. But, and by the way, as a similar example, when Brad Pitt released his film 7 Years in Tibet in 1997, the CCP actually initially placed a ban on him from any of his movies being allowed to be played in mainland China and in him personally as well, for not being allowed to actually visit China. That, of course, has since been rescinded. His movies are allowed to be playing now. And it's very interesting to me that Brad Pitt, who made this fantastic, by the way, film of 7 Years in Tibet, they actually had some of the crew members snuck into Tibet with cameras to get actual footage from streets and neighborhoods in Tibet that have now been destroyed. So areas that literally do not even exist anymore. Yet Brad Pitt, you can't seem to find him giving one of his speeches and talking about Tibet anymore. Funny how that works.
Yeah, it sure is. We're speaking with Jack Posobiec. He is the host of Human Events Daily with Jack Posobiec, wildly successful podcast out there that you need to subscribe to when we get done with this interview right here. Jack, when it comes to the relationship between the United States of America and China, President Trump talked about it in his campaigns and as the president on a regular basis. It doesn't seem to be, front and center with the Biden administration. How permanently intertwined are the economies of these two powerhouse countries?
Well, I think you only have to go as far as the president's son to find his art collection, which is currently selling for the price of a single family home, and to really see how close the economic relationship is between the Biden family and the CCP and these high officials. Look, you have a situation here where Chinese professors and officials have come out and said this in the CCP, that they have a relationship, mostly through Wall Street, particularly an economic relationship, but then also with the families of high-ranking politicians that they've built up over the years. And one of them they've talked about is Hunter Biden. And they're quite clear about this. They've understood that in order to get these politicians and to get these officials in the U.S., and it's not just the U.S., by the way, they do this in Australia, they do this in Canada, they do this increasingly in the European Union. That's just a way of basically buying them off. So, it doesn't necessarily mean that Joe Biden's going to be out there and extolling the virtues of Xi Jinping like some propaganda, North Korean, Cesar Flickman from Hunger Games or anything like that. But he will, like you say, look the other way, will not use any of the economic levers that the U.S. has against China. Because keep in mind, the relationship was set up back in the 1990s, and the deal was basically this: the manufacturing would go to East Asia, and then America and the West would be turned into consumer cultures where we consume everything that's built elsewhere. Now, of course, this helps the economies of East Asia. The wealth goes there, it goes to their elites, and then the ownership rights and the capital from that comes from the U.S. and it benefits the people who are in those higher tiers of, basically the 1%, right? So those are the people who get rich off of this. The American people get turned into consumers, and then Joe Biden has basically just been riding this wave for the last 50 years.
Let me ask you this. So we've watched the President Trump's administration. They pushed hard with economic means in order to try to affect change between relationships and countries. We're seeing what the Biden administration is willing to do, but mostly what they're not willing to do, especially when it comes to China. Then we see these words that to somebody like me who I'm not in no way, shape, or form an expert on China or foreign policy issues. I see the words hypersonic missiles and I go, excuse me, what? What is this? Hypersonic missiles being tested or whatever by China. What does this mean in conjunction with the United States? And is this a real thing? And what in the world is Jen Psaki saying? We welcome the competition. Because I, for one, don't welcome that competition.
Right. So what it means is that China has now established itself as a peer-to-peer competitor with the United States, at least when it comes to the Asia Pacific. These hypersonic glide vehicles, hypersonic means that it can go Mach 5 or faster, so that's 5 times the speed of sound. And the issue with that is that because it can glide, because it can maneuver, now you have the ability to implant a nuclear warhead on a system, a delivery system, which is maneuverable. The difference between that and a ballistic missile is that a ballistic missile is basically a catapult, right? It goes up, it goes down, it follows a set trajectory. With this glide vehicle, we don't have the ability to track this thing. It comes in on a low flight path. It also is designed to go under the South Pole, whereas U.S. early warning radars from the Cold War era are all implanted in Alaska and Greenland. So we don't have the ability to track this thing as it goes over the pole, and we also don't have the ability to track it as it comes close to one of our coasts or over Hawaii, where Pacific Command is, at Pearl Harbor, or if they get this thing dialed in even more, potentially towards one of our aircraft carriers, which is, of course, America's greatest strategic advantage when it comes to the Pacific. So now you have the ability for China basically to say, we can threaten you, we can reach out and strike you, you can't touch us. Now, I don't necessarily think that they're going to go nuclear with it because it just doesn't make sense. We still have our submarines for second launch capability, et cetera, et cetera. But what it does mean is that it's going to create a whole new paradigm for the Naval War College and Naval War planners when it comes to the Asia Pacific, because if there were ever to occur a China invasion of Taiwan scenario, this would obviously be something that would keep our aircraft carriers at bay.
Jack Posobiec with us right now, senior editor at Human Events daily podcast that you can subscribe to as well. Just do you think that China is pushing the issue right now? Is this an aggressive maneuver on their part that is more because the Biden administration hasn't shown a heavy hand like Trump did, or is this just China being China?
Well, China, it's a little bit of both. I mean, but at the same time, the only thing that China is going to respond to is economic leverage. That other than going to kinetic war, which I don't think either side really wants, certainly the American people would not benefit from going to war with China. And I don't think the Chinese people would benefit from that either. I mean, both sides would be decimated. What really the only thing you can do is go to that economic relationship. And I'm sorry, Chamber of Commerce, and I'm sorry, Wall Street and World Bank and the IMF and everybody else who's making money off this thing. But if you actually want to do anything to affect this relationship, instead of importing the authoritarianism of the CCP through the 1% of the ruling political class in the West, instead actually use some of those economic levers, use some of those tariffs, et cetera, to actually do something to affect change in their behavior.
Jack, it's always a pleasure to have you here on the Annie Frey Show. Encourage people to follow you on Twitter at Jack Posobiec and check out your podcast. You've got great information, and we're always glad to include it here on the Annie Frey Show.
Appreciate it. Thanks so much. God bless.
Yep, you as well. God bless. Seriously, follow him on Twitter if you want information and a laugh here and there. Ryan Wiggins was saying, was that yesterday? I think we were saying this on the air. Didn't Ryan say this on the air that he pretty much credits Jack with the "Let's Go Brandon"?
Yes,
I think that was
on
on the
that
air.
was on the air.
I think that's probably accurate. I mean, Jack has a humongous following, 1 million plus on Twitter, and he just has a way of doing things and getting things done.
Incredibly intelligent, and he's funny.
Yes.
So you put those two things together, and
It
man,
works.
oh man, yeah.
Yep, at Jack Posobiec on Twitter, and that podcast is doing wildly well. So you make sure you check that out.
What is the name of the podcast? Do you know?
Human Events. He's the senior editor of Human Events. It's Human Events Daily with Jack Posobiec. So
Okay.
if you Google Jack Posobiec podcast or search that in whatever podcast platform you use, you'll find it. Let's take a quick break. Wiggins America. When we return, and don't forget, Tyrus is going to join us at 1:25. I'm going to ask him about Condoleeza Rice's statement saying she doesn't need to make white kids feel guilty about being white in order for progress to continue. It's like weird. Was that a bold statement? We'll talk about that in the 1 o'clock hour, but Wiggins America when we come back.
The Annie Frey Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
You got me in a spin, but everything is okay.
The Mark Cox Morning Show.
Chris Wallace, I haven't had a chance to talk to you about Colin Powell. Do you think he could have been president?
I do. I was working at ABC, and the bosses said, you know what? If he runs, we're taking you off, and you're going to cover the Powell campaign, and I couldn't have been more excited.
Weekday mornings 5 to 9.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling Studio. In addition to heating and cooling, Air Comfort Service also offers indoor air quality, water heater, and AeroSeal duct sealing services. Get in your comfort zone with aircomfortservice.com.
Paid actor endorsement. Individual rates, coverage offerings, and savings may vary. Subject to terms and conditions. Not available in all areas.
As a small business owner, I'm trying to build my business while keeping costs down. So imagine my surprise when I heard Pi Insurance on the radio saying I might be overpaying for workers' comp. Pi said they could save small businesses like mine up to 30% on workers' comp coverage. It sounded simple, so I went to trypi.com, got a quote in 3 minutes, and ended up saving thousands. Pi Insurance is a breath of fresh air. Their team put me at ease by explaining my policy and making sure I only paid for what I needed. It felt great to know I was protecting my employees while saving money. It's easy to see why Pi is rated excellent on Trustpilot by customers. If you're a small business owner, check out Pi Insurance for workers' comp. Ask your agent for Pi, or see how much you can save in 3 minutes at trypi.com. That's TRYPIE.com.
You don't know what's going to happen in the future. And if your future in the next few years includes retirement, you're going to want to make sure that all that money you've saved, it's going to be there for you when you choose to retire. And I know people in my own personal life who are deciding to retire a little bit early because they just don't really like the way it's going, the direction is going of things that are being required for them at work. Thomas Helbig is your guy. Retirement Advisory Group is the place to go. Thomas Helbig is going to work with you to ensure that you have everything lined up, that you are ready to retire, and that everything is protected. Thomas Helbig brags, as he should. He's never had a client lose a penny. If you would like to be one of those clients, and I'm sure you would, call him at 314-993-9494. That's 314-993-9494, and get that no-cost, no-obligation retirement review. When you come in, you're going to get a copy of his best-selling book. It's a second edition, Your Key to a Worry-Free Retirement. This covers everything that he goes through in his seminars. Reach out to him at 314-993-9494 and schedule your appointment today. Online at retirementkey.com.
Did you know you can sell any house within just 7 minutes without any fees, commissions, banks, or headaches? ChrisBuysHomesSTL.com is looking to make you a cash offer on your house today, no matter the size or condition. We buy vacant houses, inherited houses, fixer-uppers, beautiful houses, townhouses, condos, and apartment buildings. If you have a house and are just even thinking of selling, visit us at ChrisBuysHomesSTL.com. Leave us your info and we'll reach out to you, ask you some basic questions, questions about your property and make you a cash offer within just 7 minutes. Remember, when you sell your house to ChrisBuysHomesSTL.com, you get to choose the closing date. To get a free no-obligation cash offer on your house, go online or call us today at 314-782-5000. That number is 314-782-5000. 314-782-5000. That's ChrisBuysHomesSTL.com.
Hi guys, it's Andrew with Pineview Medical Clinic. Are you struggling with erectile dysfunction and sick of the pills? Well, we have a major medical advancement that has helped thousands of men. The WAVE technology at Pineview Medical Clinic was tested by Cambridge University and the Cleveland Clinic, and the results are in. It's proven to increase blood flow by repairing blood vessels. No pills and no side effects. If you're ready to put a stop to your ED by treating the root cause, call us now, and not only will the assessment and blood flow ultrasound be free, we'll also include something unique that produces powerful and instant results in the bedroom. I don't think I've ever seen it fail. This is a $600 value, free to those that call in the next 2 minutes. 314-530-7777. That's 314-530-7777. Guys, put a stop to your erectile dysfunction and get your love life back. Call Pineview Medical Clinic now to qualify. 314-530-7777.
If it's bumper to bumper or smooth sailing, Sue Thomas has you covered with dependable traffic. Driven by Ambassador Midwest Floor Company, the best way to deal with in-home traffic. Experience more at Ambassador Midwest Floor.
I'm losing my self-control.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
Cross my heart, I won't do it again. I tell myself, draw the line. Not do I do, but once in a while I trip up and I cross the line. And I think of you. 2 years are just like that. My head still
I can't
takes
control
me
rumors, and it's
back.
bullshit. Bullshit spelled with a B-U-L-L capital B.
B-U-L-L capital D. That mansion clip just makes me laugh every time I hear it. And we really covered that heartbreaking news yesterday in real time.
Yeah, we did.
We were on that.
Yeah, because I saw a lot more reporting yesterday afternoon, but apparently that news had leaked early yesterday morning.
I think it's all B-U-L-L capital B bullcrap. Anyway,
I don't.
And I said it to you when you were
Yep.
looking. I go, this is not a real thing. This is somebody who wants to get under Manchin's skin and put the spotlight on him in a negative way. But you disagree.
I just think that it's very possible that he quietly said that to some of his associates, and then that news leaked out, and then he said, oh, shoot, now I'm going to tell the world that that didn't happen. I don't know that there's like a political strategy to it, but I could see that happen.
I just think Joe Manchin's status quo, he's never going to have more power and influence than he has right now. I wouldn't change the status quo.
Well,
I would keep coasting right where I am.
I hear
and
you.
keep the status quo.
But like I said yesterday, if he was independent, not that he would switch to a Republican, but if he switched to independent, he really would actually wield more power because he could determine who the leader of the Senate was.
And it would aggravate all of the Democrats that have voted for him because he's a Democrat, and then he would threaten his ability to continue to stay in the Senate.
I don't mean that it's a good strategy.
It's not about
just saying it could be a strategy.
It's not about what's good for the country. It's about what's good for West Virginia and Joe Manchin's ability to continue to
But here's
represent
the
it.
thing, though. If he does that, if he makes himself an independent, if he gets Republican hopes up, there are Republicans who would more likely vote for him because he's an independent now rather than being a Democrat.
But there are no Republicans that are going to vote for Joe Manchin over a Republican.
Well, what if he switched to independent temporarily, then come election time, he actually switched to Republican?
I just don't know. There's no benefit. Other than him being able to teeter the fact that there's a 50-50 split right now, if he did that and he took the majority out of the hands of the Democrats right now, if he did that, and I don't even know, like, constitutionally, like, that's just a bonkers thought to consider. If he did that, he would anger West Virginian Democrats so much that he'd be toast. And that's not good for Joe Manchin. And if we remember correctly, that's what these politicians care about themselves.
But doesn't floating the
I'm sorry, I'm
idea
taking up your segment.
just give him a little bit more leverage in the negotiation. Not that he would do
I
it.
think that he likes being part of the conversation in the spotlight, but no, I don't think there's any benefit for him doing it.
Before we get to Wiggins America, though, can
It's
I
your
just
segment.
Can
You
I
do
just
whatever
tell
you
you
want.
that interview with Jack Posobiec was awesome.
Thank you.
I listened to that whole thing, and just the wealth of knowledge he has about military matters. I know he's a smart guy.
Well, he was in it. Like, he did it.
Right. But I mean, keeping up with I know a lot of people who were in the military who they wouldn't know what Jack
They're
Posobiec
idiots.
knows.
They're not Jack Posobiec.
Well, no, I didn't say that. I did
know a
not
lot
say
of
that.
people.
I did not say that. No, I just thought it was
in
great.
Wiggins America, he doesn't like the military.
Yeah, right. No. Hey, jokes are funny. That ain't funny.
I
I'm not
thought
gonna do that.
I thought Ryan was going to say I really like that segment because you mentioned him in it,
I-
and gave him credit for that.
Well, at the very end,
Yeah.
but Jack didn't hear that, and I wanted to be on Jack's good side.
You
That was
are.
after he was gone.
You're gonna just spend Wiggins America talking about Jack Posobiec?
Let's do that.
Do you want
It's
Let's hit it.
it's your
Wiggins.
anyway.
I bring to you simply a thought experiment. Normally, I'm bringing you some information or an article. Yesterday, I heard somebody reporting on Mississippi meat packing plants. And the fact that one of the reasons they were able to stay open, I know this sounds funny, like it's funny, but
Carry on.
okay.
This is your world. We're just
One of the
living in it.
reasons that they've been able to stay open, they say, is because of the immigrant surge. That they've actually been pulling, and it's probably not unique to just this industry in Mississippi. That's why I'm bringing it to you as a thought experiment.
This is a specific example.
That's an example. That a lot of industries that have really struggled with the worker shortage are finding that migrants, and they won't say illegal immigrants because they won't say it because it's illegal. But
no human is illegal.
oh, thank you.
Mm.
What do you think about that? Because when I heard that, I really didn't know what to take away from it.
I hear Democrats, real life, as I call them, Thanksgiving table Democrats, the people I know in my real life who vote Democrat, say we need, this is what they will say. We need the illegals to come here because they do the jobs Americans won't. And I think, how can you possibly speak about people that way?
I hear that.
It's,
I hear that.
It's the most degrading thing. Oh, we need people to come here whose lives suck so bad that they'll come here and take care of our riffraff. I mean, like, literally, I've had conversations with people say, you can't get anyone to cut our grass, or we can't get in. And I'm like, I can't say that. I can't go on the air and be like, well, we need these migrants to come. I got to use this funny voice. So when people clip this and try to use it against me sometime, I'd be like, no, you want to do it?
No, you do it. You impersonate you.
I don't want to touch that with a 10-foot pole. They'll say we need people to cut our grass or clean our houses or whatever. And that's, you can't, these people aren't coming here to be our servants and to do I mean, if that's what they do to build a life here, super awesome. But your country of origin should never dictate what kind of job we permit you to come into the country for. That's the most asinine thing to say. And every time people say that, you can tell that they just think that they're being really kind and generous, that we would allow people to come here and cut our grass. Like, who says that out loud? And if you use this in a commercial against me someday, I will come at you.
We'll just cut the whole audio and then you can play it as a counter commercial.
I was going to say, this would be something fun for Ryan to do, which is to cut up things that I say during the show and make a hit ad against me in favor of Wiggins America.
Oh, yeah, I could do that.
Do we have
Except for the fact that could actually end up becoming a problem for me in the future.
I was going to say, do we have a homework assignment for Ryan?
No.
It has to be a TV ad, though.
Somebody's already doing it right now.
Nothing
though, I
you're
promise.
saying is necessarily wrong, but when you put it with dire music
And black and white.
black and white
Remove the
pictures
color
of you,
from this.
where somebody actually accidentally caught you in a pose where you're like,
Yeah,
like, oh
it's
my
not hard
gosh,
to do.
not only is she wrong, but she's ugly. Like they do that all the time on those, commercials.
That's the meanest thing you've ever said to me.
No, that's what that's what they do. They grab a photo of somebody like basically like eating a cheeseburger falling out of their mouth. They're like, look at this idiot. Listen to what he said. Now Annie's sad. Anyway, thought experiment. I mean, we all know the core problem is government induced of worker shortage. It was just something that whenever I hear those kind of anecdotal things, it makes me wonder, is that actually like, would that cause, is that causing things to be better now than they would have been if we hadn't had 1.7 million migrants cross the border?
Well, let's stop and think about this though. So I'm thinking in my head, we're paying people to stay home. We're giving them unemployment bonuses to stay home. So those people, it's not so much that these people are doing jobs that Americans won't do. They're doing jobs that Americans are being paid not to do.
Right? That's exactly right.
It's also driving labor. It's driving wages down.
Right. Well, and then the other part of that is these
Another
people
good
are
point.
staying home. They're not working. They're getting money from the government. That money from the government comes from somewhere. So we're taking these people who are migrants coming to America looking for a better life. We're putting them in factories, and we're taking their money to give money to other people who aren't going to work.
It's all true. I mean, that's why I thought this was an interesting thought experiment, but just because on the surface, you hear that argument and you go, well, maybe there's something to that. But the minute you start digging into it, the whole thing falls apart. And speaking of falling apart,
I'm sorry, but these bears are wiggling. These Charmin commercials.
Oh, those Charmin bears.
How do you advertise something that wipes your butt? You make them cute little bears or whatever, but like you're talking seriously, and they're just wiggling their little tushies up there.
That's fine.
They're so happy that they use Charmin and clean.
Another question, thought experiment. Why are we advertising toilet paper? I think 2020 taught us we all know we need it. And in fact, the better brands.
It's gonna be time to stock up again.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if you were to get caught without toilet paper after 2020?
Oh, you'd be the laughing stock of the world.
Joke's on you. Tyrus in the 1 o'clock hour. Don't go away.
Home warranty. I know, right? Buying coverage for appliances, your heater and AC, etc. from a company that hopes you never ever have a claim or call. Let me introduce you to a real home warranty company, the kind that actually wants to help you. Upkeep Home Warranty and Maintenance. Upkeep visit your home 4 times a year to maintain your appliances and equipment. You will never get a lack of maintenance denial because Upkeep does the maintenance. Also nice, Upkeep assigns you one point person to help you. You won't be passed around like an office hot potato, and you won't get subcontractors. Upkeep does all their work, so there's no blame game. Just experts helping you. Visit upkeepstl.com today and type in 971 for $100 off. Don't be denied. Instead, be relieved. Upkeep Home Warranty and Maintenance. 636-387-7331.
Keep up your home with Upkeep. Keep up your home with Upkeep. Keep up your home with Upkeep, and you'll have a happy home.
The Foley Dental Group online at foleydentalgroup.com, offering sedation dentistry for those of you who need it. You know who you are. If you're looking for a place where you can go get your dental care taken care of, if you've been postponing this, if you need some work done, they can help you. They're not going to judge you. They're going to make you comfortable. They're going to make you glad that you chose Foley Dental Group for your dental care, for the dental care of your family. They help the whole family. They help my whole family. They are the dentist for all of the people in my family unit. Reach out to them if you're looking for a new dentist, if you want to make a change. 618-288-9670. That's 618-288-9670. They offer all the general dentistry services that you need. Teeth whitening, fillings, dental implants, sedation dentistry, and the best, most comfortable and welcoming atmosphere in the dental business. Located in Maryville, Illinois, 618-288-9670. Online at foleydentalgroup.com.
Have you always dreamed of a lush green lawn? Get that beautiful curb appeal without the hassle by calling Professional Irrigation Systems. They'll install your new automatic lawn sprinkler system and give you a variety of options and warranties. Don't spend half your day lugging a hose around watering your lawn. Let Professional Irrigation Systems do the work for you. They offer spring activations, backflow testing, mid-season tune-ups, and winterization. Call the pros that have been in business for 20 years. Professional Irrigation Systems. Online at proirrigation.com.
This weekend, experience Illinois' largest hunting and trade show in Belleville, Illinois. Just a short trek from St. Louis at the Belclair Expo Center. The ECA Hunting and Trade Show, offering Illinois' largest display of firearms, knives, ammo, high-tech optics, coins, and accessories. The show will run this Saturday from 9 a.m. till 5 p.m. and this Sunday from 9 till 3. Bring the gun you don't use to sell or trade for the gun you want. Buy, sell, or trade this weekend only at the ECA Gun and Knife Show at the Belclair Expo Center.
KFTK FM Florissant, driven by the Bommarito Automotive Group, 97.1 FM Talk.
an Odyssey station.
The president stays the course. Lisa Brady, Fox News. As his own party tries to iron out its differences, President Biden saying a short time ago what he said during the campaign about a battle for the soul of America. And he says the process of governing is frustrating and sometimes dispiriting. He also says he's committed to voting rights, lashing out at Republican-led states who've passed new voting laws since the 2020 election. Vice President Kamala Harris speaking at the same event.
Yesterday, as Senate Democrats voted to advance the Freedom to Vote Act, Senate Republicans voted against even debating it.
A GOP filibuster blocked the bill Republicans call an attempt at a federal takeover of elections. Top Democrats in Congress say they are on track for a spending agreement this week.
Democrats in Congress are negotiating a top-line dollar figure and revenue raisers for a social spending plan designed to expand funding for healthcare, education, and climate initiatives.
We have a goal, we have a timetable, we have milestones, and we've met them all. And this is one of them.
House Speaker Nancy Pelosi indicated a framework agreement can be finished this week, but it may not include an increase on the corporate tax rate initially proposed by President Biden.
We're narrowing what the possibilities are as we see what we need to cover because the bill will be paid for.
The original $3.5 trillion bill is now likely to shrink to about $2 trillion.
Fox's Jared Halpern on Capitol Hill. The leader of a gang that's holding kidnapped missionaries in Haiti is threatening to kill them if their demands are not met. They've been demanding $1 million each ransom. Most of the 17 missionaries being held are Americans. A video posted on social media today didn't specify whether the demands had changed. America is listening to Fox News.
I struggled with symptoms like frequent gas and stomach pain for years.
I was bloated all the time with daily diarrhea.
At first, I thought it was what I was eating.
I kept thinking it was stomach issues.
So I did my research and talked to my doctor, and we finally uncovered the truth.
It was actually EPI. Exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI, is a condition where your pancreas is unable to help break down your food.
It can lead to symptoms like diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, unexplained weight loss, and oily stools.
And EPI symptoms can be confused with those of other common digestive conditions, like irritable bowel syndrome, Crohn's, and celiac disease.
So getting to the right diagnosis meant being more open with my doctor about the severity of my symptoms and how often they were happening.
But there's good news. EPI is manageable, so don't wait any longer. Use the symptom checker at identifyepi.com and schedule a visit or call with your doctor to ask, could I have EPI?
Sponsored by AbbVie.
Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling weather with Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
A gorgeous fall day, partly to mostly sunny skies. It is noticeably cooler compared to the last couple of days. 65 for the high. Tonight, partly cloudy, taking it down to 48. Friday, partly sunny, 65. And Saturday, partly sunny, 65 again. This is 97.1 FM Talk Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Government spending.
The public isn't buying the COVID thing anymore. We've spent enough COVID money.
Things you won't hear anywhere else.
Going into the holiday season, you add in inflation, supply chain issues, and then staffing shortages on top of all of it.
Government spending.
It's just pork. That's all it is.
Where St. Louis comes to talk.
The biggest purchasing time of the year. I'm going to try to have my Christmas shopping done before Thanksgiving.
97.1 FM Talk.
Tonight, a CNN exclusive. At a critical moment in his presidency, Joe Biden takes questions from the American people. Anderson Cooper moderates a CNN presidential town hall tonight at 8 on CNN.
There's so many different angles I could promote Jeff Smith and country insurance. When you're in country insurance, it's like being part of a club. So yes, they have great rates. And yes, on the back end, the claims are very easy to deal with, which is very, very important. And nobody ever thinks about that when they're buying insurance. But I've been through the process several times with them and can vouch for it. But there's this organization that is Country Insurance and the Farm Bureau that you're a part of, that all kinds of benefits happen that you don't really have to do anything for. For instance, the last time I bought a new car, I just got a $500 rebate from being in the club, in the Farm Bureau with Country Insurance. That kind of stuff happens all the time. And it's one of the reasons I love Jeff Smith, Country Insurance, and I'm endorsing them. Give them a call if you're looking to change insurance, maybe just shop some rates. You can get with him, and I almost guarantee that he's going to beat anybody, especially the national people. So much better to deal with somebody in Glen Carbon. He's licensed in Missouri and Illinois. Easiest way to find him, just type in Jeff Smith Country Insurance. First one that comes up on your phone, Jeff Smith Country Insurance.
We've done it again.
While other lenders are talking about raising their rates, our expert team at Golden Oak Lending has dropped rates even lower.
I'm James Hawkins, president of Golden Oak. With the low rate of 1.875% and home values at all-time highs, you can get more cash out of your home or eliminate pricey mortgage insurance.
Call 314-567-GOLD today to get your refinance started within minutes and make no mortgage payments until next year.
After all, our team speaks mortgage and loves translating it for customers. We can save you even more money with our 1.875% rate.
Plus, you'll never pay up front for your appraisal at Golden Oak. Call 314-567-GOLD today.
Golden Oak Landing, short my blues.
NMLS 114937, 1.875% fixed, 2.952% APR, FHA 15-year mortgage with 20% equity and approved credit.
There's a silent disease plaguing Missouri, and it affects 1 in 5 Americans over 60. It's called PAD, short for peripheral artery disease. Symptoms include leg cramps and numbness, cold feet, and foot sores that don't heal. Left untreated, PAD can result in limb amputation and shortened life expectancy. Modern Vascular has opened a new clinic in St. Louis and is now helping patients in our region treat their PAD using minimally invasive, state-of-the-art procedures. All patients are seen in a sanitized outpatient facility by doctors and medical staff that specialize in lower leg revascularization down to the toe, and Modern Vascular accepts most insurances. Your leg pain could be an early warning. Listen to it. Visit modernvascular.com and take an easy online quiz to determine your risk level. A nurse is available now to answer your questions by phone. Visit modernvascular.com.
This is where St. Louis comes to talk. 97.1 FM Talk. Join the conversation digitally. Download the Odyssey app and tune into the #1 talk station in St. Louis at any time. This hour of the Annie Frey Show is sponsored by The Loading Dock, River Views, outdoor dining, live music, and overnight accommodations. Visit GraftonLoadingDock.com.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not a married sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not a married sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
Well, Sean, it's a big deal. You know, for so long, big tech has suppressed conservative voices. If you're pro-Second Amendment, if you're pro-life, if you're religious, if you're just a conservative, you have been in Facebook jail, you have been deplatformed, you have been demonetized. What we're trying to do is create a big tent, an open and free network for people to be able to communicate, to exercise your First Amendment rights. And so tonight, my father signed a definitive merger agreement to form what will ultimately be the Trump Media and Technology Group and Truth Social, a platform for everyone to express their feelings.
A platform for everyone to express their feelings. Truth Social is the new Trump social media platform.
Yep, that's what it sounds like.
What do you think? What's your first blush thought on a Trump social media outlet?
So, like, my initial thought is kind of a fear. It's that it will only be a Trump echo chamber, which I'm sure it'll start out like that. And if that's what it is, will it have a chance to break through that and grow into something more? Because I do think we need an alternative. But that's my initial concern. My other thought was maybe if he does this, he will play kingmaker instead of running for president himself.
Does it, to your point of it being a Trump echo chamber, does Donald Trump affect any change or change any hearts? I could just stop there. No. Does he affect any change on a platform that is fully Trumpian? Like, who that has an open mind, if there's any of those individuals left on Donald Trump, because most people have made up their mind at this point, who's going to sign up for this social media? Like, who wants the next social media thing that they're connecting to? Who's looking for another thing to communicate on? Are people going to be sharing pictures of their, kids in Halloween costumes and Christmas morning photos and stuff on Truth Social? Or is this, like you said, just a place to go talk about things that are yay Trump?
Well, I think that's what it's going to be initially. I don't know that. And that's, like I said, that was my concern. If it starts out as that, how do you then break through to people who want to share pictures of their kids in Halloween costumes on it? So the people you're going to appeal to are the people who can't do that on other social media platforms. Well, the people who can't do that on other social media platforms can't do that for a reason. And they're going to be a certain kind of person that was probably kicked off for talking about something Trumpian or something like that. So you're still going to have that echo chamber. And what we need is a platform like what he's describing that's open for everybody, but you also have to have everybody on it. You can't, you know what I'm saying?
Yes. You cannot continue to segment people based on ideology, because then it is just us talking about how great we are.
Right. I think this has a tremendous opportunity. I think it's something that we need, but I just don't know if it's going to be able to accomplish what we need, if that makes sense.
Listen to more from
Big tech and all of those on the left for so long, Sean, have been saying, well, if you don't like the rules that we really enforce only one way on our platforms, go create your own. And so we did just that. So that's going to launch very soon. We're going to be in beta testing in the next few weeks. Full launch first quarter of 22. It's going to be exciting, and we're looking to give a voice back to the American people.
Does Donald Jr. always sound like he's yelling?
He did that time. I mean,
did you pull the sound?
Mm-hmm.
Was he
was talking to Sean Hannity.
I mean,
it was just a satellite feed.
Was there was no reason for him to be like,
there wasn't a helicopter behind him to yell over or anything like that.
Lord knows that Donald Trump loved to do press conferences under the helicopter.
Oh my gosh. That, I don't know what the frequency is, but the frequency of the whine of the turbine engines used to just pierce through my skull. I'd have to take my headphones off whenever I.
Tara on the Anti-Fry YouTube channel said, I pre-ordered Truth Social. Want to at least check it out for myself. I'll definitely check it out as well. I didn't pre-ordered.
I don't think.
I wonder if that's like signing up for beta.
Yeah. So he was talking about that. That's like a 4-minute clip that I pulled that out of. And he actually talked about that a little bit later on. They're going to be doing beta testing later on in this month. And then the plan is to launch it first thing in 2022.
You know what I don't want? I like Getter. And we've had Jason Miller, who is an advisor to President Trump. Jason Miller put out a statement yesterday saying, we worked really hard to try to partner with Donald Trump to become a Getter user, because Lord knows that would be a christening of sorts of that platform. I really like the platform Getter because it feels exactly like Twitter. I get it. I log on. I'm there. So many different prominent people who have been on Twitter and who communicate on Twitter are also on Getter. So it's like, feels very familiar. What I don't want is another Twitter, Getter, Parler, all of these things that, it's the same idea. It's the same concept. It's just by different people. And basically there's Twitter and there's not Twitter.
Right.
So I don't need a new non-Twitter Twitter.
Right.
Because I'm not going to keep up with all of these things. I can't possibly do it. And like you said, if it becomes an echo chamber, like what hasn't been done yet in social media, or how do you integrate different things that maybe something that you get from a YouTube or a Rumble or a Facebook, which were people mentioning on the YouTube channel right now that Facebook's supposedly being rebranded next week. What did they say? It was like The Verge or something like that.
I don't know.
Why are we rebranding Facebook? Why? I don't want to. Oh, I digress.
I think that maybe Zuckerberg's having an existential crisis.
That's just what we need. That's just what we need, is to gather around and make Mark Zuckerberg feel okay about himself.
Yeah.
I swear he isn't. Yeah. Trying so hard to be nice.
Careful.
I know. I'm going to say this out loud. Sorry, Dad. He's probably listening right now and bracing himself. So if you know, you know, but the initials AF, like if you type something out on Twitter, for instance, since we're talking about Twitter, if you said, I'm hungry AF, what's for lunch? The AF does not, in fact, stand for Annie Frey. It stands for something else, but it's a commonly used acronym, right?
They use it a lot on the socials.
They use it a lot on the socials, says the old man running the radio show.
Old man. I don't use it.
Right.
But
Because you're better than that, which is what my dad implied, that I was better than that, because we talked about we've been talking about this, a different line of different t-shirts. And it was suggested to me that I should do like patriotic AF.
But with the Annie Frey logo.
Annie Frey. The AF from Annie Frey.
Illinois AF.
Yes. My parents judged me so hard. I ran it by them. I mean, I should have decided, because I'm a grown woman. I have kids of my own. I should have made a decision for myself and just stuck with it. Maybe just never told them. But they judged me hard. So now I don't think I'm going to do it. I don't know. Are you disappointed? You're a pastor. You kind of have like equal weight.
Yeah, I mean, I am, but I like things like, I don't know, like.
It's a play.
Right. I like play on words, double entendres, stuff like that. They're in the Bible. I don't know if you know that or not, but there are all sorts of word plays in the Bible. And you go,
AF is in the Bible?
Not that particular one, but there are other ones. And you're like, oh.
I see. Yeah. I just thought this is, there are a lot of things that people are suggesting on the chat, the YouTube chat right now, different things that it could mean. I don't mean the filthy language. I mean Annie Frey, obviously. And then my parents, they don't even say anything. They just kind of lower their head and look at me with an eyebrow raised like, we're not stupid, Annie. And that's the same thing that they did to me when I was in high school, when they also weren't as stupid as I needed them to be. It's catchy.
It's branding.
Well, that's the problem. The insinuation is, Annie, that's not your brand. And they're right. That's why I'm frustrated by it. It's like, I like the idea because it's there and it's clever and it's a little wink, wink, but it's not my brand, so I'm not going to do it.
But we definitely need some Annie Frey show swag. I've thought about that for a long time. Hats, mugs, shirts.
I have to get a sponsor. That's the problem. I have to get a sponsor. Anybody want to sponsor some t-shirts?
There's people listening right now.
Yeah, if you want to, DM the Annie Frey Show Facebook page, put your logo on a t-shirt or something. Unless it's AF, then maybe we won't. Maybe we'll have standards there. We're going to talk to Tyrus here in a minute. We're going to take a break in just a second here. But did you hear what Condoleeza Rice said about race?
The whole issue of critical race theory and what is and is not being taught. I come out of an academic institution, and this is something that academics debate. What is the role of race and so forth? And let me be very clear. I grew up in segregated Birmingham, Alabama. I couldn't go to a movie theater or to a restaurant with my parents. I went to segregated schools till we moved to Denver. My parents never thought I was going to grow up in a world without prejudice, but they also told me that's somebody else's problem, not yours. You're going to overcome it, and you are going to be anything you want to be. And that's the message that I think we ought to be sending to kids.
I wish we would have left the applause, because there's like, I'm making this up. Maybe let's say there's 150 people in the studio audience. Like 30 of them really wanted to cheer.
Yeah, you could hear them pull back a little bit.
Yeah, and they're like, oh, that sounded really inspiring, but I don't know what to do right now.
What's Whoopi doing?
Yeah.
What's Joy doing?
Yeah.
Should we listen to them?
Like Condoleeza Rice has the ability and the authority to talk about race issues, as she said she was raised in the segregated South. She knows what actual discrimination, what actual racism looks like as a societal norm. And she's made something of herself in the midst of it because her parents said, forget about that. Be who you want to be. And 30 out of 150 people were like, yay! Golf clap. Well, she said something else in that segment. I'm going to play it for you when we come back because we're going to talk to Tyrus about this. Tyrus is a dad. He's got kiddos, and he's raising those children in the same crazy world that we are raising our children and our grandchildren in. And, when it comes to critical race theory, when it comes to educating our children about what took place in the past and how to acknowledge and remember and be respectful of where we have come since then, CRT really wants to turn that on its head. Do you know that it's the point of critical race theory to not improve upon the civil rights movement? It's to replace the civil rights movement. Do you know this? The civil rights movement was not a positive thing in CRT's eyes because they say that the civil rights movement created a colorblind society. And if you are not seeing color, then you're being racist. I'll make us a map on the break and I'll try to point you in the right direction. And then Tyrus is going to Hulk smash that map and give it to us straight, as he is apt to do when we come back. Stick around. Tyrus, host of Enough Said on Fox Nation, also Fox News contributor, will join us and we'll talk a little CRT. And of course, we're still playing baseball. His Red Sox are still in it. Still in it.
Hanging on.
Tanner Houck, who is the Collinsville, Illinois man, he's 25 years old, who is a member of the bullpen for the Red Sox, still in it, and we're still cheering him on. So we'll talk a little baseball with him when we come back. But CRT, we'll see how we merge those two things together. Stick around, Tyrus, in just a minute.
This is the Annie Frey Show. Interact with Annie on Facebook. The Annie Frey Show. It's not about left versus right. It's about wrong versus right. Where St. Louis comes to talk. Right here, right now. This is 97.1 FM Talk.
Hi, this is Lance Drury. If you have payroll tax problems, you have serious legal problems, you need an attorney. Call 314-260-6120 or toll free 888-367-6512 or visit LanceDruryLaw.com.
Do you know that the Vitae Foundation, working all across the country, but right here in St. Louis as well, to help women make the choice for life? The truth of the matter is, whether we like it or not, of course, it is the law right now that women can choose abortion. And when you get into states like Illinois, boy, you can choose abortion at any time and it is taxpayer funded. It's really ridiculous, isn't it? They're working so hard on the other side to make it so accessible and so casual to have abortion that in order to fight against that and save lives and save these women, Vitae Foundation is out there working to get them connected with people who will care for them. Women's centers that are non-abortive, that are going to care for the woman and the baby, and both of them after birth even. This is what they are focusing on with your funds, with your support. Next Thursday, October 28th, Jason Chaffetz is going to be in town. I'm going to be the MC, and we're inviting you to come join us to be a part of this. If you'd like to donate or learn more about that, go to adsforlife.org.
You want to retire soon, but everyone keeps telling you to wait until you're 65. After all, that's the age that you qualify for Medicare and you're close to full retirement age. I'm Marvin Mitchell, president of Compass Retirement Solutions. In my new book, Retire Early, The 9 Critical Decisions When Retiring Before 65, I discuss proper planning to help make early retirement possible. When to take Social Security, what to do with your 401k, health care, how to maximize retirement income, and much more. Get a complimentary copy of Retire Early by calling 1-800-743-8510. That's 1-800-743-8510. Can you retire early? Call 1-800-743-8510 for your copy of Retire Early, The 9 Critical Decisions When Retiring Before 65.
Investments and services offered through Compass Retirement Group, a registered investment advisory in Missouri and Illinois. Compass Retirement Solutions is not affiliated with the U.S. government or any governmental agency.
Over the past year and a half, you may have spent more time with the youth in your life, but have you really been connecting? October is Let's Talk Month, so take this opportunity to connect with the young people in your life using Connect With Me, a free resource from the Missouri Department of Health and Senior Services. Head to health.mo.gov/connect or follow us on social media for conversation starter cards, resources, and weekly activities.
This message brought to you by the Missouri Department of Health and Senior Services.
The med spa at the Institute of Natural Health understands how difficult it is to maintain healthy skin and how much this can affect someone's life. With the right combination of treatments and products, they can help you keep your skin looking healthy and more youthful, while also reducing and preventing damage. Take your first step towards healthy skin at the med spa at the Institute of Natural Health. Visit them at inhstl.com or call to schedule at 314-293-8123. That's 314-293-8123.
Hey, it's Mark Reardon for ThrottleNet, and if you need new IT service and you're a small business owner, or you just need better IT service, why wouldn't you check out ThrottleNet? They won Best in Customer Service from Small Business Monthly this past January, Best in Cybersecurity in Small Business Monthly in February. Ransomware has been huge, unfortunately, on the rise through the pandemic, and ThrottleNet has saved clients $2.6 million in ransom. They protect against ransomware by providing a tool set that provides cybersecurity training for employees, identifying and quarantining an infected machine from the network, and the equipment will recover in less than 24 hours. Take advantage of a great offer. The first 30 days with ThrottleNet are free. There's no onboarding fees. If you leave in the first 30 days, ThrottleNet will pay you $1,000 for your trouble. And after the first 30 days, no contracts, they're month to month. Check out ThrottleNet online. Use the 97.1 connection, throttlenet.com/971. Throttlenet.com/971. Get started today.
Where it began, I can't begin to knowing, but then I know it's growing strong.
One of the worries that I have about the way that we're talking about race is that it either seems so big that we'll now have to feel guilty for everything that happened in the past. I don't think that's very productive. Or Black people have to feel disempowered by race. I would like Black kids to be completely empowered, to know that they are beautiful in their Blackness. But in order to do that, I don't have to make white kids feel bad for being white. So somehow this is a conversation that has gone in the wrong direction.
Condoleeza Rice there saying something that should be so obvious and not controversial. Like, why are we saying things like this in 2021 and getting articles written and headlines where Condoleezza Rice says white kids shouldn't have to feel guilty for being white? This is news. It is news. This is news today. Flies in the face of what CRT.
Bold and brave.
Yeah, it is, apparently. Let's talk to Tyrus about it.
You're becoming like my most stable relationship.
Enough said.
Tyrus, your Red Sox are still in the mix, and we're talking about CRT and Condoleezza Rice. What a mixture, right?
Yeah. Who would think that saying something that's just common sense would elicit the fact that we had to break it down? That's troublesome. But at the same time, I kind of have a different take. I think we've gotten to the point where this whole grouping of people, like everyone attends the same church or everyone attends the same household to have discussions on. I mean, it just basically, if you want to have empowered kids with confidence, it starts with the parenting. It starts with their parents. It starts with who's in their community, their teachers and stuff. There's not a magic statement for Black kids, white kids. We're seeing a lot of the grouping because we live in a very interesting time where people can create dramas that really ain't there. And if you make it bigger than what it is by saying people and all this and all that and absolutisms, there's no fixing it because that's not really the issue. The issue, we live in a capitalist society, so it's all about individual achievement, and everyone's experience is different. And recently I read something where, there's all the outrage over Dave Chappelle's making jokes. Love the stand-up, by the way, but the whole thing was everyone was talking about all these issues and like it's not white people have no right to tell Black people about their experience with racism. And I laugh at that because it's about what goes on. We're in a point in our history was individual achievement. You could be a white kid who grew up in a predominantly Hispanic neighborhood or black neighborhood and was picked on every day for the difference in the color of his skin and was marginalized, and he probably went through some form of racism or whatever for being different. Unfortunately, that does happen in our neighborhoods, and opposed to a kid of color who grew up in a mixed neighborhood and everyone was successful and he never experienced anything like that. So again, it's all about individuals and what they're going through, and to try to cheapen it by making it all one way or the other, because the one beautiful thing about America, it's about the individual. So everyone's color is secondary opposed to their life experiences. And I don't understand how hard is that to articulate or say.
I completely agree.
We don't live in groupings anymore.
Yeah, that's the progress. Fox News contributor Tyrus with us right now. Are we overcomplicating this for our kids? Is it even about the kids? Is this about
It's not about the kids. It's about talking points. It's about fake. It's about victimism and virtue signaling. Like I said, I've said it on the record several times. There's never been a better time in this country to be a civil rights leader or social justice warrior, because there is no opposition. And the opposition that you create, you control. It's very convenient to blame it on white people for all your problems when they have their own problems. They have their own poor neighborhoods. They have their own family issues. They have their own opiate crisis. They have their own son or daughter dealing with some other issues. Everyone has problems and issues in this country, and we've gotten to the point where I feel confident saying no one's is no more worse than others. But when we group it and try to make it into something bigger, because when it's bland, it's harder to solve, and you can control it, and you can make money for it, and you can get people to give you, big checks and politicians to all influences and all this stuff over, because there's no actual address to help people.
Mm-hmm. You kind of touched on it where I feel like it goes. It isn't about the kids. Isn't this an industry? Isn't this business?
Oh, yeah, it's big business, because now and they blackmail businesses. They go up to them and be like, are you going to donate to our cause? Because if you don't, it means you're against us. Then we'll protest outside your building. So, yeah, they'll cut them a check or whatever. And, of course, only 3% of it actually goes to the cause. The rest, of course, administration fees and, their own fee, because you can't do good work without getting paid. I mean, come on.
Right.
So, it's big business. It's a good way to marginalize individual achievement in this country. There's a real mission to try to make us a ninth place country in terms of like everyone just gets something for participating. And, that's just not what America is about. It hasn't been about. That's the beauty of capitalism. That's how you can go from an underdog to a top dog, because there is room for individual achievement. We're all going to have hurdles. We're all going to go through horrible things in life. That's part of the process. And, having support when you do go through things is important. But blanket statements about how all black children in America go through one thing is asinine. It's like saying that every white person is born with a silver spoon in their mouth and they don't deal with racism or sexism. They could 100% be dealing it in their own household. Yeah. We don't know. Yeah. So, it's not a white or black or brown or yellow thing. It's a people thing. But you can't marginalize that. You can't throw everybody in a box when it's a people thing. It's a character thing. Bad people are going to do bad things, and they'll make up whatever excuse they want. If someone doesn't like me because he just doesn't want to like me, says I hate him because he's black. Well, there's his reason. He doesn't need a reason, or I hate him because he talks a lot, or whatever the case may be. I don't like him because he's big. I don't trust big guys. They're dangerous. Whatever. You can make a case about anything. I don't like anyone with a size 17 shoe is a freak. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can find a reason not to like someone.
Sure. Yeah, an ignorant one at that, for sure.
Yeah. But the ignorants aren't in giant groups. Whenever there is a protest or a small group that gets together for an extreme belief, it's the coverage is bigger than the movement, if that makes any sense.
Mm-hmm. Of course. Fox News contributor Tyrus with us right now. We're going to talk a little bit about the ALCS here in a minute, but I want to talk about the NLCS. As the Atlanta Braves are looking to solidify their entrance into the World Series. I'm going to read to you something that was written in July. The decision to move the All-Star game from Atlanta comes a little more than a week after the passage of SB 202, a Georgia law that President Joe Biden criticized earlier this week, saying it will restrict voting access for residents of the state. Commissioner Rob Manfred said in a statement that the decision to move the All-Star game was, quote, the best way to demonstrate our values as a sport, end quote, and was made after consultation with teams, former and current players, the MLB Players Association, and the Players Alliance, among others. Is there a conflict? I mean, is it so obvious that if the Braves are to get into the World Series in the same year that they ripped the All-Star game and all of the commerce and business that goes along with it out of Atlanta to put it in Denver, can they be consistent with their values, as Manfred says, and keep the World Series there?
No, because once you pick sides, you picked a side, and now you're back in the corner. If you don't move it, then it was just a bunch of political jargon in the first place. No one actually read the laws, the so-called voter restriction laws. So, no, they're absolutely, if you go by that way of thinking. But here's the thing, and this is why you struggle with this so much, and I struggle with this. You're applying common sense, integrity, and standing your ground, opposed to they'll just say whatever, and they'll take the Twitter wave for a few days, and then they're not going to not pull Atlanta from the World Series. They're going to tell you it's different. It's different. Mm-hmm. So, but they're not, and that's all. And if you continue to ask more, well, you obviously want division, so they'll turn around on you. That's what we're seeing a lot. And like I said, extremes on either side don't work. Extreme people on the right, that's not the way the American public thinks. And the extreme on the left, that's not the way the American public thinks. The difference is that I think Republicans do a pretty good job of kind of checking the extreme, whereas the left, we really can't tell the difference right now between what the progressive agenda is and what a moderate agenda is. And it just seems like we're doing this progressive welfare state, borderline communist kind of political approach to everything. I mean, just any American that sits well with, if you move $600 in your bank account, the IRS can track you and follow you down and go through all your things, I think, is a real problem.
Yeah.
And that in itself should show exactly where the Democratic Party's at right now.
Let me give you an opportunity real quick to put a pitch out there for your Boston Red Sox. As I've mentioned before, Tanner Houck, Collinsville, Illinois boy from right across the river here, is in the bullpen for the Boston Red Sox. I've been watching and cheering for them, and I've never seen so much offense in a series, in a playoff series before.
Well, unfortunately, I have. In the Red Sox, we tend to score all our runs at once. Unfortunately,
clumps.
Not yet, but I'm sure, never say never with some of the rule changes we've seen, where points don't get to carry over. So right now, technically, we beat up 37 to 31 right now. So we would have swept had points runs carried over, but unfortunately, do not. I think we have. If this was a heavyweight punch, we threw all our big punches, and now we don't. I don't think we have anything in the bullpen and our starting pitching. We've had one guy get into the sixth, and I think Houston has settled down now, and they had a massive pitching performance yesterday. So I don't see much of that changing. But that's Red Sox. We've known we had no bullpen. Our starting pitching was, we just got lucky. We had short series. We only had to win 3 games with the Rays, and we only had to win 1 game with the Yankees. So our pitching was kind of protected. Now we're in a 7-game series, and now our pitching is being exploited.
Tyrus, you've had the same level of encouragement the entire time. You've been.
I just don't believe in. I refuse, and I love the Red Sox, but I refuse. I do this with my kids. And I refuse to blow smoke and say, "Oh, we got this." just ignorant talking. If we do, Houston's going to have to just not show up. They're going to have a bad night. They have to make errors for us to be able to keep, because we just don't have the pitching. I would love to be wrong, but just realistic, looking at the numbers and stuff, I think we gave our best shot.
You're still in it.
The last score is kind of indicative of how the series is going to go.
All right. Well, we're
8-2. Thanks for showing up.
I'm still watching. We've got, as I said, Tanner Houck on the Red Sox. Jake Odorizzi is from right across the river as well, but he's on Houston, and it's just kind of hard to cheer for Houston right now. So
yeah, fingers crossed.
Thanks, Tyrus. Great to speak with you again.
Always a pleasure.
Bye-bye. He's the entire time that I've been talking to him, and I happen to know the Hauk family personally. So I've had several people talk to me about Odorizzi. I'm like, I know that, and I didn't realize he was pitching for Houston until he was in that second inning where they gave up the second grand slam this past weekend. I was like, oh, I know. Oh, yeah. So I don't know. I am very, since I know the Hauk family personally, I'm super, it's just so different and cool to know somebody who's got a family member performing at that high of a level.
Do you know Neil Kotz? Does that name sound familiar?
Mm-mm.
Neil Kotz was a pitcher for the White Sox and the Cubs, and he's from Lebanon, Illinois.
Okay.
And his wife worked with my wife until she retired. So
it's just kind of it adds a different layer to it. And it, for me, it's just the Cardinal season was so weird and crazy. The expectations going into September certainly weren't that of a 17-game winning streak. So it's been easy for me to transfer my interest. And of course, I know a lot of you are like, Annie, you shouldn't be watching the MLB anyway. I support your decision not to watch the MLB. I think that's a great decision for you. I like baseball. I'm watching it.
Wait, yeah, but the way you're supporting it too, you're rooting for the Braves. And
oh my gosh, I can't wait. They play tonight, Brad. They play tonight. What's Major League Baseball going to do? They're going to hope nobody notices.
Oh, but you've noticed, and you've already put them on blast.
Yeah, I've kind of got a little bit of a viral tweet going on right now about that. I wanted to rattle some cages and make sure that people act. If the Braves get into the World Series, I want the whole Let's Go Brandon country to become Braves fans.
Absolutely.
Not to mention the fact, it's not like I'm asking you to all of a sudden root for the Yankees.
Right.
Like, you can root for the Braves for sure over the cheating Houston Astros, or I'm gonna pull for the Hauk family and the Red Sox if they get there. I hope that they do, but come on.
Right. Well, and then too, it's like Freddie Freeman and Ozzie Albies. They're a ton of fun to watch.
Yes.
And that team looks like they have fun when they play baseball, and that's a fun team to root for that you can have fun with.
All right. We need it to happen. It really, really needs to happen. Get on the Braves bandwagon with me, because we're going to just watch them squirm. You're a Braves fan and I'm a Braves fan, and it only has to be for the rest of October. That's all it needs to be. And then you just go back to, Cardinals or die. That's the way I would normally be. Let's take a quick break. More Annie Frey show right around the corner. We got Ryan coming back in the studio in the 2:00 hour, and we'll have Trisha come in here, and Trisha and Brad can kind of tell Ryan how this morning went. We made a trip to Johnny Brock's dungeon, and oh my gosh, if you were in the market for a costume, if you need a last-minute costume, you get to Johnny Brock's, tell him Annie Frey sent you, and get the coolest costume that you can find, because they have a ton of options there. We'll talk about our little shopping excursion this morning. Stick around, more Annie Frey show, just a minute.
Good times never The Mark Reardon Show.
Scott Walker, this is always one of those tricky questions for former politicians or politicians. Are you done with running for office?
I am a quarter century younger than Joe Biden, so I figure I got plenty of time.
You do have time.
Weekdays from 3 to 6.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling Studio. Air Comfort Service is hiring licensed journeymen. Don't have a journeyman license? Air Comfort Service will help you get it. Get guaranteed hours year-round and more. Apply online at aircomfortservice.com. That's aircomfortservice.com.
Help DEA keep our community safe and healthy by participating in National Prescription Drug Take-Back Day, Saturday, October 23rd. Take action right in your own home by cleaning out your family medicine cabinet of unused and expired prescription drugs. Keep them safe, clean them out, take them back. To find a collection site near you, visit DEATakeback.com. Do your part to lower overdose deaths and prevent prescription drug misuse before it starts. That's DEATakeback.com.
The Bagel Loan, which is Stewie's, my friend Stewie's. You're going to reach out to Stewie and find out how you can use the Bagel Loan. And the Bagel Loan is a way to refinance your mortgage or get a new mortgage. If you're buying a home, do not miss the opportunity to go with a Bagel Loan. When you don't pay fees that every other lender out there is going to charge you for, he doesn't roll them into the mortgage. He doesn't hide them or tuck them away so that you don't see them up front, or you just pay them with interest over 30 years. It's not like that. They don't exist. The entire basis with which Stewie at Stewart's American Mortgage has created his business model is so that he does not have to charge those fees for you. He takes care of that for you. They don't exist. So you can go do your home refinance. You can snag one of these super duper low interest rates that could be around forever, or they could be gone very soon. We don't know. This economy is crazy. Get one of those low rates, refinance to a shorter mortgage or to a lower monthly payment, or get your home purchase done with the bagel loan at Stewart's American Mortgage. 314-324-4440, 314-324-4440, NMLS number 226715.
Hey, it's Mark Reardon from my friends at the Sound Room, and the Sound Room in the Chesterfield Valley is one of the first places in the entire area to carry the brand new 100-inch TV from Sony. Yes, I said 100-inch. It's the ultimate big screen experience. This triple-digit TV is something you really need to see in person. Big picture, big sound, big fun. Come visit the Sound Room's beautiful showroom in Chesterfield right next to Amini's to explore their Sony TVs and theater packages today. The Sound Room, online at thesoundroom.com.
On the battlefield, there's a saying America's military men and women live by. Never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Off the battlefield, Wounded Warrior Project operates with the same goal. Wounded Warrior Project was created to help our men and women returning home with the scars of war, whether those scars are physical or mental. Wounded Warrior Project. We never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Learn more about what we do at woundedwarriorproject.org.
Have you wanted to speak a new language but thought it'd be too difficult or take too much time? Then try Babbel. In just 15 minutes a day, Babbel teaches you conversations that you will actually use. With 14 languages and lesson topics like travel, business, relationships, and more, you'll learn what matters most to you. Babbel. Language for life. Learn a new language with ease. Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's BABBEL.com.
Sell your car the easy way at Bomarito. No matter what kind of vehicle you have or what shape it's in, car, truck, van, or SUV, just go to Bomarito.com. Answer a few questions about your vehicle, and we'll give you an instant real purchase offer. Then we'll come to you, or you come to us, and we'll pay you on the spot. So when you're ready to sell your vehicle, go to Bomarito first. A better experience, a better price, better service. The automotive leader, Bomarito, Missouri's #1 automotive group, open 24/7 at Bomarito.com.
Your fall cleanup list could be long and daunting, so don't allow those worn-out windows to drag you down. New windows from Universal Windows Direct will make cleaning a breeze and allow you more time for you. Universal Windows Direct windows will save you tons of money and come with a true lifetime warranty. So call now to schedule your personal estimate and take advantage of our buy one, get one free and pay nothing for 2 years. And you too will be saying, I love my windows. Call 314-334-2522 or online at universalwindowsdirect.com.
Universal Windows Direct.
Up to the minute traffic reports, so you don't have to keep looking at your phone. Dependable traffic on 97.1 FM Talk. Driven by Ambassador Midwest Floor Company, the best way to deal with in-home traffic. Experience more at Ambassador Midwest Floor. This is the Annie Frey Show. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
So there's this really weird thing on our Facebook page. There are people who are labeled like super fans or top fans or whatever it is. They're showing up in different languages. Is this part of... Did someone say it's called the Verve? Is what they're going to change Facebook to?
Isn't the Verve the band?
I thought so.
No, it was the
Bittersweet
Verge.
Verge.
Yeah, the Verve did Bittersweet Symphony, and we did have a request.
Not
for that.
to be confused with the new Facebook.
Right. We did have a fan that requested that as bump music.
I play that from time to time. Facebook plans to change company name to focus on the metaverse. Do you have to change the name? Like, does the name have to change in order for you to... What does it mean to focus on the metaverse?
Right. Remember what I said is like Zuckerberg's having a midlife crisis. This reeks of a billionaire's slow slide into insanity.
He is, I think, a month younger than me, which is weird to think that that sometimes, you and I are about the same age. We're in our late 30s. Um, do you have waves of feeling way older than you are, but also like, how can I have this kind of responsibility? I'm a child. Do you ever have that? No, just me?
No, it's funny that you said that because that they call that imposter syndrome, right?
No, I don't know.
I had that whenever I got this job. I was like, oh, this is a lot of responsibility.
Yeah, I don't think I can handle this.
Yeah, I
They
don't
should give this to a grown up.
They give this to a lawn guy for, right? This is
Is that in your mind what you're like, that's home. I start at lawn guy and then I go from there.
No, I start at youth minister, but still, that's another point where it's like, these people trusted me with their kids. What's wrong with them? But what was the original question?
Well, we were talking about Facebook and Mark Zuckerberg, and I just said, like, there are times where I feel like I am a geriatric senior citizen.
Yes.
And I have since I was about 15 in some capacity. And then other times it's just like, I am 12.
In the summers on Wednesday morning, I feel geriatric because on Tuesday night we play softball. And then in the morning I wake up and
it hits you.
I drag myself into the shower so I can get some hot water so I can move again.
You have to pregame with ibuprofen. Everybody in their 30s learns that eventually.
Yeah, but see, ibuprofen's on the banned list for me. I can't have it.
Because of your heart situation?
Yeah, unfortunately, it raises your blood pressure, so I'm not supposed to have ibuprofen or what's the other one? Aleve.
We're talking about your heart situation like we know it, but they don't know it. Do you want to tell us?
Well, yeah, I can tell that story. I was 27 years old and I woke up at 3 a.m. with what I thought initially was I had to burp. You ever have a burp get stuck? Like, I was like, I'm gonna have to burp. I'm a little gassy. And it was that, but then it just kept growing and growing and growing and growing. And it felt like there was something going to burst out of my chest from the inside. So
was it pain or was it pressure or both?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, it was pressure that turned into pain. So with so much pressure, it turned into pain. And then I noticed that my fingertips started tingling. And so like I went into the bedroom and I was like,
you were 27 years old.
Yeah. I was 27 years old and 330 pounds. So, I went into the bedroom and the only thing I could say to my wife was I need help. And she was like awake, it was like one of those, she's like, the way you said it, there was something serious going on. So we called the ambulance and I took an ambulance ride and they told me, cause they can do an EKG in the ambulance on your way there. So the cardiologist on call can see it before you even get there. I had a heart attack. I had a really bad heart attack. I had 100% blockage in my circumventual vein. I might be artery. I might be saying that wrong.
Whatever you're saying. Sure.
It's the one that goes around the top of your heart. It's not one of the ones that drop down along the ventricles.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the ones they call the widowmaker. So anyway, the doctor went in. I have tortuous arteries there, which means that they're really kinked and I can't really, they couldn't get the stent.
That's a genetic thing.
That's just like thing.
The way God made you.
But there was blood flowing through them at some point, and then at some point the blood stopped flowing through it. So that was the blockage. So they couldn't get the stent in. Well, they're like, listen, you're young, you'll grow complementary arteries that'll kind of grow in around it, and you'll be all right with medication and that. They said, but you need to diet, you need to exercise, you need to lose weight.
Mm-hmm.
Deal, right? So when you have one of those life-changing events, that's super easy. So I lost 100 pounds, did diet and exercise.
How long did it take you to do that?
About a year and 2 months.
And how did you lose 100 pounds?
How did I lose 100 pounds? I stopped eating junk. So like I don't eat sausage or bacon or anything like that anymore. And I don't drink sugary drinks. I don't drink juices, any sort of drinkable calories outside of like the creamer you put in coffee. Like I got coffee today. You brought me a coffee, which thank you so much.
I was bribing you. We'll talk about that later.
It was one cream. So one little cream and a packet of Splenda is kind of what I put in.
And Trisha's sweet cream.
Yeah, that was on
a
there.
little extra treat. Doesn't count.
Yeah, it happens one time. So you get those treats in time. So anyway, I ended up losing the weight. That blockage opened up and then I got a blood clot stuck in it. So I had a second heart attack. And so they went in, they put a stent in. Well, I keep doing the things that I was doing, keep doing it right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, last September, and I think I even DM'd you when this happened.
Yes, you did.
I having chest pains again one Sunday morning and I went to the hospital and they said, you're having a heart attack. So I've had 3 heart attacks. And this one is because the stent that was in there got calcified and scar tissue built up and it blocked it off. So the original blockage that I had from the first heart attack. So all 3 heart attacks were due to the same spot. There was, praise the Lord, there was no extra damage. The only damage to my heart was from the very first one. So I look at these heart attacks as a blessing because
you have a different lot on life.
Well, yeah.
I mean, you've been given that to see it as a blessing is, to me, it's almost like a superpower that you have now.
Well, here's the thing. I'm in much better shape now than I was before I had a heart attack. Now my sister's like, well, do you feel so much better since you lost the weight? And I was like, well, not really, because there are still some effects from having the heart attack. I feel the same as I did before, but I'm in much better shape. I feel way better. And then I look at life, and each breath that I take, each thing that I do, each new thing that I venture out on is something that I understand that is not guaranteed to me. And that's something that I want people to understand, that you're not guaranteed the next breath that you take. And so that should help you live your life in a way that's more grateful for what you have and what you do. And
so your first heart attack was at 28?
27, 28.
27 or 28. And then the second one?
That was 2 years, so 30.
And then your third one?
Was 37.
Just last year?
Yep.
Yeah, that's crazy. So every time, Ryan brought in last Friday, he brought in these buzz buttons that like make your face feel numb or whatever. And the first thing that Brad says is, I need to look up the ingredients. And I'm like, oh my gosh.
I was all in on trying them.
Don't do anything. Like, you can't go down on this show. And we want to make sure that you're super, super, taken care of and protected. But if you ever hear us in the future, what is that?
That's my nitrostat. So if I ever
do I need to know how to do that?
Nope. This is a spray. I'm supposed to take it if I'm feeling chest pains. So if I ever pull this out, we need to call an ambulance.
Good to know, man. I've known your story for a while, and we haven't really talked about it on air. So I'm glad that the listeners now understand, because you were blessed, and we're blessed to have you here for sure. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, Trisha and Ryan going to come in studio with us and talk a little bit about our adventure to Johnny Brock's this morning. And they have some decisions to make, and it is going to be mortifying to me. Assuming that you all go like the Annie Frey Show Facebook page and we get to 16,000 likes. We'll talk to you about that in just a minute. Don't go away.
Hi, Chad Hansen with Hansen's Tree Service. If your trees are looking sick, or if you have insects that aren't welcome in your landscape, Hansen's can help. Our plant healthcare program offers tree and shrub fertilization as well as pest management to maintain a great looking landscape. Check us out at hansenstree.com.
St. Louis has been hit with an onslaught of storms this spring and summer that have produced hail and high winds. The areas of Town and Country, Ladue, Maryland Heights, Creve Coeur, Kirkwood, Richmond Heights have had some of the worst storm damage. Even minor storm damage can cause your roof to deteriorate and leak over time. But you can have your roof checked for free by the qualified roofing experts at St. Louis-based First Choice Roofing and Construction. For over 12 years, First Choice has offered free roof inspections. If you don't have hail and weather damage, we will tell you. If you do, we work directly with your insurance company and your insurance adjuster to make sure you're maximizing the restoration claim for your home. Schedule your free roofing evaluation now by calling 636-282-0090. That's 636-282-0090. 636-282-0090. Or book your free roof inspection online. FirstChoiceSTL.com. That's First Choice with the numeral FirstChoiceSTL.com.
Come to the enchanted attic. Come to the enchanted attic. Come to the enchanted attic.
Diane, what are you doing?
I'm chanting. Come to the enchanted attic.
But why do you keep saying come to the enchanted attic?
Duh, because it works like magic. Tony, every time I say come to the enchanted attic, people show up at our store.
Well, you can keep chanting if you want to, but I know why people shop at our store.
And I know what you're going to say. It's those healing gemstone mugs you picked out.
Yes.
And our large crystal and stone collection that you picked out.
Yes.
But what about our unique silver and gemstone jewelry?
That you picked out?
Yeah.
Well, it is pretty amazing.
So come to the Enchanted Attic, 304 South Main Street in historic St. Charles, 636-949-9502. Free gift with every purchase. We love this store.
How might this week's big stories impact your portfolio? Hi, I'm Bob Stockdale with Stifel. Join me and fellow Stifel financial advisor Eric Robert during On the Money every Saturday from 11 till noon right here on 97.1 FM Talk. Stifel, member NYSE and SIPC.
Texas ranch water is born from a rich tradition. 100% wild blue agave, the plant that makes tequila and the plant we use to make this here ranch water. With all natural ingredients, this hard seltzer fuels the wild side. For the bull-riding, back-flipping, barbecuing, boat-jumping badasses. Don't drink that soft stuff. Drink the ranch water.
KFTK FM Florissant, driven by the Bommarito Automotive Group, 97.1 FM Talk.
An Odyssey station.
Reassurance from the U.S. Attorney General. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. Merrick Garland taking heat from Republicans at a House hearing, questioning the independence of the Biden Justice Department.
We strengthened our policy governing communications between the Justice Department and the White House.
A policy he says is designed to protect against inappropriate influence. He also denies targeting parents who protested school board meetings, as Republicans like Ohio Congressman Jim Jordan accused Democrats of trying to chill dissent.
I think your memo, Mr. Attorney General, was the last straw. I think it was the catalyst for a great awakening that is just getting started.
Referring to a memo directing federal authorities to help address harassment and threats of violence. But Garland says he can't imagine a parent being labeled a domestic terrorist just for complaining about education. The president and vice president appearing together to send a message while marking an anniversary at the memorial honoring Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. in Washington.
10 years after the King Memorial dedication, parallels were drawn to Dr. King's battle for voting rights and legislation to safeguard it in Congress today. Vice President Kamala Harris.
We should not have to keep fighting so hard to secure our fundamental rights, but fight we must.
President Biden says federal intervention is needed because some state legislatures want to make it harder for people to vote.
And if you do vote, they want to be able to tell you whether or not your vote counts.
This week, Senate Republicans blocked the Democratic push to expand voting options and protections. Gernal Scott, Fox News.
Republicans say that bill amounts to a federal takeover of elections and that new voting laws passed by Republican-led states are aimed at making it harder to cheat. The Fed just announcing new rules for policymakers and senior staff, barring investments in individual stocks and bonds after recent trades forced two top officials to resign. America is listening to Fox News.
I struggled with symptoms like frequent gas and stomach pain for years.
I was bloated all the time with daily diarrhea.
At first, I thought it was what I was eating.
I kept thinking it was stomach issues.
So I did my research and talked to my doctor, and we finally uncovered the truth.
It was actually EPI. Exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI, is a condition where your pancreas is unable to help break down your food.
It can lead to symptoms like diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, unexplained weight loss, and oily stools.
And EPI symptoms can be confused with those of other common digestive conditions, like irritable bowel syndrome, Crohn's, and celiac disease.
So getting to the right diagnosis meant being more open with my doctor about the severity of my symptoms and how often they were happening.
But there's good news. EPI is manageable, so don't wait any longer. Use the symptom checker at identifyepi.com and schedule a visit or call with your doctor to ask, could I have EPI?
Sponsored by AbbVie.
Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling weather with Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
A gorgeous fall day, partly to mostly sunny skies. It is noticeably cooler compared to the last couple of days. 65 for the high. Tonight, partly cloudy, taking it down to 48. Friday, partly sunny, 65. And Saturday, partly sunny, 65 again. This is 97.1 FM Talk Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
You're invited to join 97.1 FM Talk for the annual Veterans Appreciation Day and Parade, November 7th. Come honor our nation's heroes along with the personalities you listen to right here on 97.1. And after the parade, enjoy the food trucks, live music, and activities along with us. Sunday, November 7th in Florissant. Get the details at 971talk.com/events. Sponsored by Weber Automotive Group, 97.1 FM Talk.
Worried about what you're breathing in? With each breath, allergens, germs, and viruses get trapped in your nose. Now there's a simple, easy, and effective way to clean your nose and protect your health. It's called Navage. Navage. Available at Navage.com.
STS Armory is known for superior training. If it comes to, if it's time to get your first firearm, or if it's time to get your 10th firearm, whichever it is for you, STS Armory is excited to help accommodate you and what you're looking for. And they have the training to boot. They have classes at least 2 to 3 times a month, and they cater to everyone. So there's nobody who doesn't qualify to go to STS Armory and learn from the amazing instructors that they have there. Katie and Jesse are so fantastic. They're super knowledgeable and they're very helpful. And the best part that I like is they're completely non-judgmental, because if I'm starting my collection and if I want to add something to what I have currently, I can go in there and not have to pretend like I know things that I don't, because this is not the type of industry that you want to fake it. You want to know, and you want to have the knowledge of what they have imparted upon you, so you can make a good decision with your money. If you are looking to add to your collection, if you're looking for your first firearm, if you're looking for the training for yourself or for your family members, STS Armory in Pontoon Beach has it for you. 618-931-4867, online at sts-armory.com.
Need a break from the sound bites and the talking heads? Do you want information you can actually use? Information that'll change your life for the better? Then listen to the Del Walmsley Radio Show.
Listen to the Del Walmsley Radio Show this Saturday afternoon from 1 to 2 p.m. on 97.1 FM Talk.
Has there ever been a year we're more excited for the holidays? Don't wait until the last minute, guys. Plan ahead and surprise her with something unexpected. Imagine her face when you hand her a Shane Company box tied with a burgundy bow. Does she already have a pair of stud earrings from Shane Company? Diamond, ruby, or sapphire? Trade them in for a larger size and only pay the difference from what you originally paid. Or maybe you got her engagement ring when you were young and just starting out. How about surprising her with a larger diamond? Or perhaps an exciting new diamond shape? You can upgrade her engagement ring at any time, and you'll get full credit for your original center stone. Just pay the difference. Shane Company has the best upgrade policy in the business. If you're not sure where to start, make an appointment and we'll help you out. Surprise her with an upgrade this holiday and leave her speechless.
Now you have a friend in the jewelry business, Shane Company and shaneco.com.
Are you tired of feeling sick and tired? I'm Dr. Nick Barnes of Health from Within Family Chiropractic. Our simple 5-step approach aligns your health naturally. We correct spinal abnormalities to maximize nerve supply, focus on pure and simple nutrition, exercise and oxygen, mindset, and minimizing toxins in your body. Transform your health today with Health from Within, conveniently located on Manchester in Rock Hill or online at healthfromwithinstl.com.
Tonight, a CNN exclusive. At a critical moment in his presidency, Joe Biden takes questions from the American people. Anderson Cooper moderates a CNN presidential town hall tonight at 8 on CNN.
Man, there are a lot of podcasts out there.
Definitely. I mean, there's 3 million shows, 50 million episodes, and more every day.
I mean, who has the time to figure out which ones are the best podcasts?
We do. That's who. What's up, guys? I am Alicia Renee.
And I'm Dax Holt.
And we are your hosts of Pod Sauce, a podcast discovery show.
Look at us as your podcast concierge.
We do all the work for you. We listen to the shows, review them,
pick the best episodes, and interview the hosts.
Pod Sauce. Let us help you find your next binge. Tell them where to go, Dax.
Go to podsauce.com.
97.1 FM Talk is now streaming on the Odyssey app. It's your home for streaming The Mark Cox Show, Brian Kilmeade, The Annie Frey Show, and Mark Reardon on your phone. The Odyssey app for streaming 97.1 FM Talk. This hour of The Annie Frey Show is sponsored by The Loading Dock, River Views, outdoor dining, live music, and overnight accommodations. Visit GraftonLoadingDock.com.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
Right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is The Annie Frey Show.
Can't afford half the stuff. It's crazy.
It's called inflation.
You can definitely feel it different.
I think it's outrageous. They're going up every day.
Well, I think it really affects people who are just living on the edge.
It has a huge impact because it takes an impact on your entire life when you're spending more on groceries than you have less for other things.
Spend more money.
So that's really fun with that ominous music underneath it. Ryan seems really intimidated. Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. This is a montage of people talking about the supply chain issues and inflation that is affecting the cost of goods. And we've got Ryan and Trisha and Brad here in studio along with myself. And I got to say, let me ask you, have you noticed it yourself? Trisha, have you were like, what was it, 2 or 3 weeks ago, you were talking about gas was getting, you were like, it was like $12 more a gallon or a fill up for you. Are you noticing it in other things now?
Yeah, a couple months ago, I started really noticing the gaps in stores.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know exactly what's missing, but there's stuff missing from shelves. And I remember one day walking in and there was like very sparse produce at my grocery store.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, the cost of things are insane. So yeah, it's still going.
Ryan, have you noticed it in anything particular?
I noticed it very early on because I'm so price conscious of
I was going to
everything.
say, at any of your thrift shops?
Yeah. No, I still go to thrift shops, although oddly, it does affect a secondary market like that too, because when there's less product, there's less overflow product.
More things get purchased.
Exactly.
That's available.
And there's less coupons. Basically, there's less incentive for the companies to get you to buy them because they know that the supply's short. So yeah, the secondary stuff like my flea market places, they're a little sparse too. So yeah, it affects everything though.
How frequently do you frequent the flea market? Say that 6 times.
I would say frequently.
Frequently.
Not this week because I won't be there. I will be going out of town this weekend, but I go there probably once a week, maybe once every other week.
I have a flea market question.
Please.
You're in the right place.
So, the Foodland situation.
We're going to have class here.
I have
Go ahead.
Trisha asking Ryan flea market questions, and Ryan's asking me Disney World questions. Like, he follows me around the office. He's like, oh, and another thing.
Mm-hmm.
I was just wondering how often they restock, like they get a new shipment of things into that overstock store.
Yeah, so you're referring to Foodland,
Yeah.
which I go to in Fairmont City.
Mhm.
That is a terrific little place.
Right.
So it's got a grocery store on one side,
That's
and on
where
the
I
other
got
side,
my $5 sweater, everybody.
see,
Stop telling people it's $5. You get
It was
compliments on it.
originally-
You say it's designer.
It's
I
from
mean, somebody
Target.
designed
It's
it.
a Target
no,
brand.
that's the thing. Nobody compliments her. She just says, "Look
No,
at this,
I
got it for
complimented
$5."
her. She's like, I got it for $5 at Ryan Wiggins' store.
I need to stop advertising this place because I don't want a lot of people to go there.
Okay, well, like if this place existed in theory,
In
and
theory,
it
in
was
Fairmont City, in
somewhere
the
you
old Venture.
frequented.
Yeah,
That's where it is.
that's where it is. It still has the stripies on it, so you can tell it
Uh-huh.
was a Venture at some. I don't know,
I thought that
20
was
years
Washington
ago.
Park.
Wasn't that the?
It's right around the border between Fairmont City and Washington Park.
It's
the
amazing.
car
in there.
museum?
The border.
Yeah,
Isn't
around
that
the
where
border.
Gateway Classic Cars used to be?
Yeah, and it
Now
moved to O'Fallon.
Now it's in O'Fallon by my
That's right.
house.
Yeah, and I had an antique booth at that little place in Gateway Classic Cars for a while.
This is real life.
That's right.
So this got derailed. How often do they restock in there?
I
Like,
would
flip
say
that.
I don't know, but it looks like probably once every 2 weeks to a month.
Okay. So I can go back and get more sweaters.
Mhm.
That's all I wanted to know
Yep,
about.
but it's always different
very,
stuff.
very
That's what's
sorry.
fun about it.
Yeah, that's what.
You never know what they're gonna get.
I'll go back this weekend.
Brad, have you noticed supply chain shortages? I'm going to just drive this car back onto the road if possible.
Thank you, host.
Mhm.
Yes.
Annie.
Where I've noticed it because my stereo, in my pickup truck is not doing well. It's like on the verge of going out, and I can tell because it loses connection to my phone, and then sometimes it works whenever I turn on, the other times it doesn't. I've gone stereo shopping. I need to get a new stereo, and if they have it in stock, it's like 5 times higher than what they usually are. So like I was looking for, they call it a double din. It's the touch screen, the big ones.
Okay.
That's what I was
Sounds
looking
fancy,
for.
folks.
Well, yeah, he's got it.
Can you get that at Foodland?
I don't know, but if you
Probably.
can, let me know.
You probably can, and it's probably $20.
Yeah, there you go.
But radios that
Probably
were
hot.
usually
Yes.
$400 or so are like $500 to $600 now.
Man.
I had a car issue, and we needed like a sensor cleaner or something. We went to 3 different shops, couldn't find it. Finally found it, and they said that they weren't able to get it because of the supply chain. They've been having to go to Menards and buy it.
Good grief.
For a higher cost.
So let's talk. Let's talk a little bit about what we did this morning. We went to Johnny Brock's dungeon And it was interesting. In part, we can talk about why we were there, but we were also discussing the difference between going in a store and buying a costume at Johnny Brock's Dungeon, where you can today, maybe you still have a lunch break coming up, or maybe you leave work and you go to Johnny Brock's downtown. They have so much in stock. We spent 50 minutes in this store and we didn't even see the whole store.
Yeah, I could have spent another 3 hours there.
Yeah, you would have. Plus,
I would
you
have.
love that cat.
I love that cat.
The cat that was there.
The cat's name is El Gato.
El Gato.
El Gato.
It's Trisha's best friend now.
Mm-hmm.
So
And I don't really like cats, so
you
this
can
one's special.
go see El Gato and ask to say hi to Trisha, because I'm sure she'll be back there. But being able
Find me
to
with the cat.
being
I'll be,
able,
I'll be the one with the cat.
when you go to Johnny Brock's and you see something, you can buy it from there. And if there's a difference between buying something from Amazon and buying it at Johnny Brock's Dungeon, I value so much being able to see the thing and hold the thing and look at the thing and have it now. Like Amazon Prime in 2 days is fantastic. But I will often not buy something on Amazon because I would rather go to the store. Even if I don't get to the store for 4 days, I would rather walk in a store, purchase something, and walk out. And how much of a difference it makes to shop those stores like a Johnny Brock's for your Halloween costume or for your, they were talking about how Mardi Gras is huge, St. Patrick's Day is huge, Christmas is huge. Obviously Halloween is huge. How important it is to patronize businesses like this so that they still exist when you need to go into a store and buy said thing and walk out with it. It's so important to be able to have that access and to support the people who are local. So I just want to put that plug out there and tell you that if you are looking for that costume, even if it's a last minute thing, you're going to be able to walk in there and walk out with something that is going to have you just over the moon. Like I had to pull Brad away from the hats because he wanted to buy all the hats.
They had the tricorn pirate hat.
I got one of those.
hat.
You can have it. I'll give it to you.
I don't know that it looks like this.
Yeah, it does.
No, it doesn't.
I don't think so.
No, it doesn't. It does. This is a fantastic hat that you should get at Johnny.
It's very high quality.
So, Trisha, why don't you just kind of walk us through what we did and tell Ryan what we're going to need from him and also the listeners.
Okay, Ryan, here's what we're going to need from you.
Okay. Tell me.
So this morning we went to Johnny Brock's and we went in and we looked around and we found the best costumes.
Did
best
you guys
is really, really a subjective
You guys
term.
spent 50 minutes in the store and you didn't see everything? That sounds like a Halloween mega store to me.
It is.
My gosh.
Wow.
Well done,
It's
Ryan.
funny you put it that way
Go
because
on.
that's exactly what it was.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'll write that timestamp
Thank you.
down so we can pull it for him.
JohnnyBrock's.com.
Ryan's over here, host of Wiggins America.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah. They listen on the weekends too, right?
Yeah. So Brad, you can help me out here. We walked around and found the most fun.
Yeah, fun. We stayed away from outfits that are costumes that wouldn't be FCC compliant.
Right. We were careful.
How about I've had 4 babies compliant because there's a whole situation
come
there.
on. We just took it in a different direction. I know that sexy ET was leading for a while there, but we shifted
Was
gears.
it?
Oh yeah.
It was.
At least for a good day and a half.
See, what I was going to do is interpret what would be sexy on ET's planet.
I like that.
And
I
go
like that.
road.
It was like it would be ET in like a sweatsuit.
In a sexy
Earmuffs.
sweatsuit. Sexy AF.
Hot pink.
Yeah, the sporty look is really attractive on ET's
Yeah,
planet.
no kidding.
Yeah,
idea.
so we got together and we did a video and we picked Brad and I went through and picked our favorite versions of what is appropriate. to
There are
dressing in as
multiple
for Halloween.
directions that this could
Oh,
go.
absolutely.
Yep.
So-
Characters, food.
So this video is going to be done soon, and then I get to watch all of the.
And that's what we need
options.
from you, Ryan, is to
Okay.
watch this video, look at the options, and help. I believe Annie, the listeners get to help decide too, right?
They can persuade
Ryan.
Persuade me, okay?
And then Ryan gets the ultimate vote.
I should
that-
get the video up on the Annie Frey Show Facebook page, which is what you have to go like, because the deal here is that we have to get to 16,000 likes. And we need a few hundred to do that. So it's a steep hill to climb. So you're probably going to have to invite people.
I
Or
will tell you right
guys,
now.
if you really want to see me look like a moron next Friday, you're just going to have to start creating fake profiles.
Yeah, I want you to do one of two things. One, look either like people don't even know it's you, like so different that they're like, whoa, that's weird. Or
oh my gosh, we need less than 400 now.
yes. Oh, that's great.
Nice.
That's great. We can do that.
15,604.
TikTok.
And there is not a bad option. in
Or I
this
want
costume
something
selection.
that's so.
I'm having chest tightness right now, Brad. What am I supposed
Do you want the
to
spray?
do? I do. Yeah, just start spraying me with things. Ryan's gonna start spraying me with Endus.
I didn't know there was a hose in here.
Hose her down.
Be in a Baywatch costume.
I also, that was so we went through last night. We were talking because I was looking at all of the things that Brad and Trisha
there was a group chat last night
you
that
were
I was not
to.
invited to.
Yeah.
on purpose. I can tell you some of them, but there were themes that sort of showed up that I like, and one of them is something that makes you so uncomfortable that it's hard to do a radio show in it.
That would be any costume.
That would also be great.
That doesn't really take a whole lot.
I don't even care what it is. Just something like, oh my gosh, it's a giant box that you have to stay inside.
Well, funny you should suggest that, because that is kind of in the mix.
You want to hear a couple we talked about last night?
No.
Off the cuff?
Anyway.
Well, it started with Sexy ET. And
it was winning for a while.
Then it moved into Presidents Past. And then we talked about
Presidents
past and future. I don't know what future means because we don't know who the future is going to be. That could be anybody.
Trump.
Just pick some random person. That's such a dumb. I'm laughing at my own joke. Trisha suggested a potato.
President Sexy ET.
It just literally be anyway.
The
Hey, there's
ET
Jane
with some
Fonda.
orange hair.
A banana.
Why is that so intriguing?
That keeps coming back.
Because there is a banana costume in Johnny Brock's.
But have you seen a banana costume? Is the thing? It's
yes, that's why I don't want to do it.
That's why it's intriguing.
Obviously.
David Hasselhoff. You mentioned Baywatch. We did bring up David Hasselhoff.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. There's a lot of really good ideas out there, but the ones that they want me to do are never the women in the good ideas.
I suggested the guy I bought my Disney tickets from on Craigslist.
Which
that would
in
be
a text
interpreted.
message to me, he called him a shade ball.
Yeah,
I
he
go,
goes,
where
"Where'd
did you buy him from? He's like, a shade ball. That's all he ever told me. There was never any more to the story. It was just that.
A tall glass of water. A hard pill to
She
swallow.
looks like a tall glass of water.
Man, there's some really good ones in here. I love that it ended on this one. There was all these really ridiculous ideas, and of course, mine were the most ridiculous, like things that could never even happen. One of them
Wait
was.
a second. You didn't take the non-serious thing seriously?
I can't believe it either.
Non-serious?
Well, we kept saying sexy ET, sexy clown. I said, well, something unsexy needs to be in there too. I suggest
E.T.
I suggest
E.T. is not sexy.
No, listen.
There's nothing less sexy than E.T.
No, this is a funny joke. I gotta get this one in here.
Oh my god.
Unsexy adult dancer.
Also in a sweatsuit.
Yeah, just a person in a sweatsuit.
Yeah, I actually don't think you understand how easy that would be for me.
You just have to come in and say you're an adult dancer.
Just walk
That's
in the
category.
building and be like,
but
here
I'm not
I am.
working today.
As,
I'm
Andy Fry.
as
adult dancer,
unsexy
today's
as
my
I
day off.
possibly can be.
Off the clock, adult dancer.
Did literally nothing to myself, and I just naturally came in
Here I am.
as my unsexy self.
Anyway, it ended with all these crazy ideas. We were texting for probably 15, 20 minutes on this. And then Trisha ends it. How about just a corn dog? I'm done. That'll be it. You're going to be a corn dog.
Oh my gosh. I'm a little nervous that this is going to end up not being my finest hour.
I mean, none of the actions.
Maybe the show's finest hour, but personally it's going to be very conflicting
But that's
for me.
the goal, right?
Yeah. We want to put her into an uncomfortable situation that we can point at.
All of the options that we narrowed it down to once we got to Johnny Brock's, and thank you again to Johnny Brock's for letting us come in.
It's like a Halloween superstore.
Super mega store.
Gosh.
Fully stocked.
Wow.
50 minutes.
JohnnyBrock's.com.
They had a cab.
Anyway, all of the options that we narrowed it down to will, in fact, make Annie uncomfortable. None
Good.
of them are.
All of them.
Yes, every single one of them.
Incredibly uncomfortable. I don't even know how some of them are going to fit in the studio. And that is the God's honest truth.
Yeah.
You have to like the Facebook page, though.
Please.
I set the bar high because I don't know that we can get to 16,000 in a week. Like, it would take a lot of effort by a lot of people inviting in to like the Annie Frey Show
Tell
Facebook
your
page.
friends, share it.
Unlike
invite
the page
everyone on
right
your-
now, go to
Don't
the
do
Facebook
that.
page, unlike the page,
Share it.
and then I won't
Tell
have
your
to dress
friends.
up as Inigo Montoya.
I am totally going to try to get Brad to buy those likes.
Oh my gosh.
We Trisha, we need to call out the Trisha militia and get them engaged in this so that we can get the likes going.
Yes. Trisha Militia. Is that more than one person?
There's 3 in here.
Okay, Trisha Militia unite.
Do we have a dance or something? that's
No,
that's
don't
where the
do that
unsexy
salute.
adult dancers are.
Don't say militia and then put your arm in the air like that. I don't think that works.
It's worse now that you
She's an
broadcast it
off-the-clock
to the
adult dancer. Just give her some.
That's my alter ego. We got to go to a break.
Yes,
I mean,
we do.
for my goodness sake. Stick around. More Annie Frey Show. When we come back, you can join us in the live stream. Watch the show. Facebook.com/Annie Frey Show, the Annie Frey YouTube channel. We'll be back in a minute.
This is the Annie Frey Show. Interact with Annie on Facebook. The Annie Frey Show.
They say I love
The Mark Reardon Show is giving away t-shirts. Listen 3 to 6 weekdays for the Reardon Random Chance to Win. No rhyme or reason, just a time picked by Reardon. Free Mark Reardon Show t-shirts. Listen 3 to 6 on 97.1 FM Talk.
Hi, this is Ken.
And Lori Heisey of Heisey Advisory Group. We're dedicated to helping individuals and families work toward their financial goals.
If you're retiring soon, join us Saturday at 9:30 a.m. for your Retirement Highway.
Investment advisory services by individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
This is a great time of the year to upgrade the energy efficiency in your home with my friends at Window World. Mark Cox here to tell you more about my experience with Window World. They replaced a couple of windows at my house. They were just panes of glass. We wanted to be able to get some airflow into the master bathroom. They came out, they gave us a free estimate, and then had the windows at seams installed in no time. Very professional, lifetime warranty I get, and you get an extra double strength glass on their replacement windows that's not common. So you're getting a great price, simply the best for less. They do front entry doors, rear entry doors if you're looking to replace that back door or sliding glass door in your home. They've got a great selection at Window World. They're also right now offering 18 months, same as cash financing, of course, with approved credit. The preferred window of the St. Louis Blues, 314-993-1800, windowworld.com.
Have you got a sweet tooth?
Hi there, Brian Fritz with Fritz's Frozen Custard. Did you know at Fritz's, we offer a different flavor of the day each day of the week? With flavors like peanut butter cookie dough, coffee toffee, and yellow cake batter, your next favorite flavor is just a day away. Visit one of our 5 locations and pick up a quart of your favorite flavor for the entire family to try. We look forward to seeing you and your family at Fritz's.
It's the best stuff in town, so you better get around. Fritz's Frozen Custard. Yeah!
Hello, Marvin Mitchell here from Compass Retirement Solutions. Did you know that the average 3-year CD rate in the area was less than 1%? That's why we are excited to offer you several accounts that are short-term and pay better than bank rates. For example, we currently have a 3-year account paying 2.4% and a 5-year account paying 3.5% per year guaranteed. What a great place for your lazy money. You know, the money that you don't plan to use for the next 3 to 5 years. Now, terms and conditions do apply. So for more information, call 314-373-1598. Again, call 314-373-1598. This is Marvin Mitchell, and we would like to put your lazy money to work for you. Call 314-373-1598.
Guarantees are backed by the claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company. Rates can change without notice. Investments and services offered through Compass Retirement Group, a registered investment advisory in Missouri and Illinois.
Home warranty. I know, right? Buying coverage for appliances, your heater and AC, etc., from a company that hopes you never ever have a claim or call. Let me introduce you to a real home warranty company, the kind that actually wants to help you. Upkeep Home Warranty and Maintenance. Upkeep visits your home 4 times a year to maintain your appliances and equipment. You will never get a lack of maintenance denial because Upkeep does the maintenance. Also nice, Upkeep assigns you one point person to help you. You won't be passed around like an office hot potato, and you won't get subcontractors. Upkeep does all their work, so there's no blame game. just experts helping you. Visit upkeepstl.com today and type in 971 for $100 off. Don't be denied. Instead, be relieved. Upkeep Home Warranty and Maintenance, 636-387-7331.
Keep up your home with Upkeep. Keep up your home with Upkeep. Keep up your home with Upkeep, and you'll have a happy home.
I heard the COVID-19 vaccine has.
And the thing I heard about the vaccine.
Sure, but do we really know about the long-term effects? Did you read that thing on the internet?
He
about
heard
that?
from his cousin that they don't.
Okay, you're hearing a lot of talk about the COVID-19 vaccines these days. So how do you find out if getting vaccinated is right for you? By talking to someone you already trust, your doctor or healthcare provider. They'll answer your questions so you can decide what's best for you and your family. Go to getvaccineanswers.org to find out more. That's getvaccineanswers.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Informer, you know, say that I'm a snowman, I go blam. I like you boom boom down. Take the man that say that I'm a snowman, stamp somewhere down the lane. I like you boom boom down. Informer, you know, say that I'm a snowman, I go
You're
blam.
listening to The Annie Frey Show. Follow Annie on Twitter @Annie Frey Show.
Okay, we don't talk a lot about pronouns on this show because I don't really care enough to like upset any apple carts, because it's like, okay, whatever you're doing, you do, that's fine. Of all of the things that I want to spend time talking about, pronouns is not really high on my list, except for this one. I said, excuse me, what? Listen to this here. You got it up over there?
Hi, my name is Liana. I use they demon pronouns.
This video is how to use our pronouns.
So we're going to basically present 3 sentences. One of them is going to have one pronoun, the other one's going to have the other pronoun, and then the last one is going to have both pronouns interchanged.
So Liana uses they, them pronouns and demon pronouns. So the first sentence would be, Liana is my partner, they are cute, and I am theirs. I love them very much, and I hope they love themselves too. For the demon pronouns, it would be, Liana is my partner, Deem is cute, and I belong to Deem. I love Demon very much, and I hope Deem loves Demon's self too. Then interchanging the two would be, Liana is my partner, they are cute, and I am Deem's. I love Demon very much, and I hope they love Demon's self too.
I really want to know what you feel about this, Ryan Wiggins. I didn't know that the word demon could be used as a pronoun.
Well, that's my concern is not the fact that somebody wants to be known as a demon, but that they are trying to make demon into a pronoun.
It's not what are your pronouns. It's what is a pronoun. What is
a pronoun? You can't just say, well, I'm going to be called demon and that's it's not a pronoun.
Yes, you can.
Well, and shorten it to deem. Oh, I'm going to be called a deem now. That's a pronoun for demon.
Demon self.
Demon self. That's right. Like you can't. There's no way you could make that into a pronoun. You can't even call yourself Azazel. That's a proper name. So you can't do anything that they're doing. Now let's talk about the demon part of it.
75% paying attention, and the 25% of that it wasn't was needed. I was like,
you can't decide. I'm
like
going to be called.
In my brain, that was like a record scratch. I was like, what?
Yeah.
I don't even know these words.
But I'm not going to. You can't say I'm Baphomet now. Just call me Bath, and say that's a pronoun. It's not a pronoun.
It's a name.
It's a name, and it's a shortened name. It's a nickname. You can't do that.
You know what this is what I said to Brad when I sent this. I'm like, with like a shrug emoji, like, I don't even know. I all I did say was my children under my stead will never have social media.
Can you imagine the person who sees that in their life, or that they're telling, no, I want to be called demon when you say he. Instead, don't say he, say demon. Can you imagine the person who's like, oh my gosh, I totally respect that, and tries it in real life? What does that even look like?
I don't know how to keep up with it.
Right.
And I don't. Does anybody in here have TikTok? I know you don't.
Not like trying to spy on my phone, lady.
Maybe, lady. How do you know that's what I want to be referred to?
I don't.
Maybe I want to be referred to as banana or giraffe or Inigo Montoya.
Or
Well,
ET.
Or ET, sexy ET. If you're going to be ET, you might as well be sexy.
Might as well go for it.
Right. Nobody near us TikTok, right?
No.
Maybe you could fix TikTok. Maybe TikTok hasn't had Brian Wiggins yet.
Give me a burner phone. They're not getting the rest of my data.
I just look at what is coming out of TikTok, and this is where earlier Brad and I were talking. Asked Brad, I'm like, do you ever feel like you're a geriatric senior citizen at 38, or also feel like you're 12? Like all of a sudden, what you're experiencing in life, you're like, why are they allowing me this responsibility? This seems like a really, really bad idea. Or you just feel so old when you know that like normal 30 something or 40 somethings would be totally down with this, but I'm just not for it. TikTok makes me feel really old because I'm in social media. I like social media. I like to use social media. We are on social media right now. I don't get TikTok. I don't understand TikTok's place. I know and respect that it has clearly a space that I am not in and observing. So I respect that it doesn't need me to be involved for it to be a thing. But good grief, when I see all this stuff coming off of TikTok, it's like I don't want my kids to be exposed to this. They're evolving brains. I just don't think that what we grew up with, and we are all millennials here, but we are old millennials. Trisha is the youngest of us, but we all grew up without internet. We all know what it was like to have to entertain yourself, or, shocker, you were bored. You just dealt with being bored. You learned how to sit still. Your parents were buying a car. You sat in the waiting room at the car dealership and you just waited. That's what you did. We know what that's like. I don't understand, since I don't have that childhood experience of consuming this. There's so much information out in the world that there is something that has been taken seriously in some corners of the world where you're referring to yourself as demon self. Like that is out there for our kids to consume. I don't, as a grown person, know how to consume it. I certainly don't know how to explain it to my kids or help their growing minds process it. I just want to swear the whole thing off for my children.
You can, especially for that age, is you can indulge anything you want on TikTok. You can say that about the internet in general, but TikTok specifically is aimed at that age bracket with those short little like boom, boom, boom videos. And so it's addictive because you watch a 15-second video, you get a lot out of it, and it just suggests the next one. It keeps going. But I know just from having a wife who deals with teenagers as a teacher that, I don't know how to put this. If let's say you have a kid who has a bad day and decides, you know what, I'm depressed. Well, you can get on TikTok and look at a whole bunch of videos diagnosing what you're going through. And it's a bunch of bull. It's just total bull. And they will take that and internalize it and say, well, that's who I am now. And you can do that with literally anything on TikTok. And it's rather dangerous because you have minds that are 10, 12 years old experiencing that.
So what you're talking about is like the wild, wild west of information and opinion and perspective that children can consume. And when I hear you saying that, the first thing in my head is, well, I don't know that should be allowed that way. But the truth is that, you know, how do you regulate that? You could put government regulations in it, but when you put government regulations in it, what I'm seeing the government put in the public school system right now in the state of Illinois regarding sex education is pornography. I mean, seriously, if you haven't looked into it, it makes me blush. It is graphic into classrooms at a very young age, which is approved. So obviously, once again, this is going to come as a shock to everybody. The government has no business regulating this. It's where the family needs to be fortified even more, to have parents who step in and censor this stuff, even if it makes you're the worst mom ever. I can't believe you won't let the other kids, okay. Do you know how many parents I just had to take my son to Mercy Hospital the other day? And I was meeting with a doctor, and he said to my son, how old are you? And my son said 11. He goes, you got a phone? Which is a really weird question because that's not why we were there, obviously. And he's like, no. And I go, yeah. He says all his friends have a phone. He goes, it's funny because I have an 11-year-old and he tells me the same thing. We don't let him have a phone. Do you know how many parents I talk to are like, no, my kid doesn't have a phone. But my kid says everybody else has a phone.
Mm-hmm.
stepping in and drawing that definitive line in the sand of saying, no, you're not going to be exposed to this. And if I don't care if everybody else has a phone, and they don't want phones, they want tablets and computers. They don't actually ever want to call anybody. They don't even realize that a phone is only for calling people. I cannot. I played or I read the tweet from Randy Weingarten, who's the president of the Teachers Union, AFT. They keep referring to our children. How do you feel about that as a dad, Ryan? When you hear the president of the Teachers Union say we need, when it comes to our children, does that get under your skin? It sure gets under mine.
I can see why it would. It doesn't. It bothers me because I know what the Teachers Union is doing. It doesn't bother me in the sense that I think what he's saying is our children is in society's. These are the children. This is the next generation.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't take it that way, but that's the way they behave. Is talking about them like. I mean, that's what Terry McAuliffe is saying.
I'm basing that way more on action than I am on words.
Totally. Yeah. And when I say dangerous too about TikTok, I agree with you. I don't think that's something that we should then say, well, it's dangerous, because that's what the left does, is they identify a problem and they say the government solution to that problem, whatever the problem is.
We agree. We almost always agree that the problem exists.
Yeah.
The solution is the difference. Democrats say spend more money. Government should take control of that problem. Conservatives, Republicans say, no, it's
not enough
people
are vaccinated. Well, we need the government to take care of that problem. What should we do? Well, we should use the government to force people to do what we want. That's the way it's headed.
And it's not helping. Did you want to say something? No, nothing to add.
I mean, I might have stuff to add, but I agree with exactly what you're saying there.
He's a TikTok star.
Yeah.
He's
really offended.
Surprised you guys didn't know, but I'm that positive kind.
Beardly Brad on TikTok.
Yeah, Beardly Brad. Find me. I don't even know what the TikTok version of an at is.
Do you see how he's trying to play this off
right
now?
Okay.
Like, I don't know how to say or speak the language. I don't even know what they're saying on the TikTok.
Yeah, I was just not good at it. It'd be awesome if I was amazing at it. But anyway,
check me out at Mario Kart Brad.
At least you didn't say Luigi. The president of the United States was at he was at Camp David.
Oh, yeah, I remember
He's
this.
like talking about playing Mario Kart, and President Biden chose Luigi. Like, of course he did.
Any
You could see that
character.
one coming.
Pick the guy nobody ever thinks of.
Dr. Jill Biden's like, I'm Mario, and that's just the way it's gonna be.
Yep.
They probably play Mario Kart just so she can make him be Luigi. All right, this is getting bad. Let's take a quick break. We'll wrap up the show here in just a minute, and we'll do some TikToks on the break with Brad. He'll show us a little something on the live webcam.
Ooh.
Don't act
I'm
like you're
sorry, what?
coy, like you don't know what's gonna.
I'm not gonna do that for the people.
What are you talking about?
We'll be right back.
The Annie Frey Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe. The Mark Cox Morning Show.
Chris Wallace, I haven't had a chance to talk to you about Colin Powell. Do you think he could have been president?
I do. I was working at ABC, and the bosses said, you know what? If he runs, we're taking you off, and you're going to cover the Powell campaign, and I couldn't have been more excited.
Weekday mornings 5 to 9.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling Studio. Air Comfort Service is celebrating 52 years of residential and commercial service, maintenance, and installation of heating and cooling systems. Get in your comfort zone. Visit aircomfortservice.com.
Grammy-nominated Joe Bonamassa, hailed as one of the world's greatest guitar players. Blues rock titan Joe Bonamassa, performing live on Saturday, October 30th at the Stiefel Theater. Was the best thing I ever did. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. Joe Bonamassa. Don't miss the guitar event of the year.
So my friends at the Closet Factory just got a phone call from another one of my friends who is going to be using the Closet Factory in their home. They're expanding their home, and they wanted to know about the Closet Factory and how they work. And I told them, I said, they are great people, locally owned, a business that has grown. They're super busy right now because I think a lot of people during COVID have just really realized where their trouble areas are when it comes to organization and decided to do something about it. The Closet Factory can give you a custom organization solution for every area of your home. Custom closets, home office, garage storage, wall beds, entertainment centers, kids spaces, grandkids spaces, laundry room. That's one thing that we did in our house. A craft room, mud rooms, home libraries, whatever your situation is, the Closet Factory has a solution specifically customized for your needs. Just give them a call and have them come out, 314-961-4300. And here's the thing. If you're looking for a gig, a job, the Closet Factory is hiring factory workers right now. You can reach out to them. Tell them the Annie Frey Show sent you. They're wonderful people. I can vouch for them. I've talked to them, met them, know them personally. I think you like working for the Closet Factory. Get a phone call out to them now to get your project started. 314-961-4300, closetfactory.com.
If you've been dragging your feet, waiting for the perfect opportunity to consolidate your credit card debt, start that overdue home remodel, refinance to a shorter term, or get rid of that dreaded PMI, then now is the time to give me, Michael Mohan at Community Mortgage, a call. Interest rates are still at historic lows and home values are at record levels. I am here in St. Louis, and when you call, you will speak to me. Whether you are purchasing your dream home or needing to refinance your current home, call a local lender. Call Michael Mohan at Community Mortgage. I hate expensive add-ons and fees, and I will give you straight answers while we customize a loan that perfectly fits your needs. So call me directly while rates are in the twos. 314-336-6050. 314-336-6050. Online at communitymortgagestl.com.
Community Mortgage LLC, 224-143, NMLS 250353, APRs in the twos.
Before buttons, things were much harder, like starting an outboard motor.
Come on.
Or even treating sleep apnea. If you've tried CPAP but struggle to get a good night's sleep, relief can be as easy as a button with Inspire.
Inspire is a sleep apnea treatment that works inside your body with just the click of a remote. No mask, no hose, just sleep. To learn more, visit inspiresleep.com. Inspire, sleep apnea innovation. Inspire is not for everyone. Talk to your doctor to see if it's right for you and review important safety information at inspiresleep.com.
This weekend, experience Illinois' largest hunting and trade show in Belleville, Illinois. Just a short trek from St. Louis at the Belle Claire Expo Center. The ECA Hunting and Trade Show, offering Illinois' largest display of firearms, knives, ammo, high-tech optics, coins, and accessories. The show will run this Saturday from 9 a.m. till 5 p.m. and this Sunday from 9 till 3. Bring the gun you don't use to sell or trade for the gun you want. Buy, sell, or trade this weekend only at the ECA Gun and Knife Show at the Belle Claire Expo Center.
Help DEA keep our community safe and healthy by participating in National Prescription Drug Take-Back Day, Saturday, October 23rd. Take action right in your own home by cleaning out your family medicine cabinet of unused and expired prescription drugs. Keep them safe, clean them out, take them back. To find a collection site near you, visit DEATakeback.com. Do your part to lower overdose deaths and prevent prescription drug misuse before it starts. That's DEATakeback.com.
Information to keep you moving. Dependable traffic, mornings and afternoons with Sue Thomas. Driven by Ambassador Midwest Floor Company, the best way to deal with in-home traffic. Experience more at Ambassador Midwest Floor.
Yo, VIP. Let's kick it.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show. Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Frey Show.
Collaborate and listen. I sit back with my brand new invention. Something grabs a hold of me tightly. Flow like a harpoon daily and nightly.
I don't really know why, but Vanilla Ice follows the Annie Frey Show on Twitter.
Really?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
And Travis Tritt.
Oh, that's cool.
Yes.
Have they liked the Facebook page?
I hope not. I really hope
One
not.
tweet from them about your Facebook page, and you're dressing up like
Come
sexy.
on, Travis.
Sexy ET was not at Johnny Brock's. That
Well, you got to try.
There was a lot of good stuff there, though.
ET might have been there. I might have had to sex up.
Is that why you ran us out of there so quick when we got to that one section?
I saw ET and I was like,
Oh, yeah.
we really got to go.
The
This
alien
show's gonna
section.
start in
Famous
2 hours.
alien section. You guys were like, get out of here.
JohnnyBrocks.com if you were in the market for a costume. So we've got Brad and Trisha and I went to Johnny Brock's today. They have picked out the front runners for if we get to the 16,000 likes on Facebook, the Annie Frey Show Facebook page. You have to like the page. Don't go liking. I mean, you can like all the posts.
Don't go
there.
chasing waterfalls,
Don't
kids.
go yeah. I don't think TLC likes the Annie Frey Show on Facebook either or Twitter.
That.
I'll put the video up tonight. So here's how this is going to go. They picked costumes that they would like to mortify me in front of you a week from tomorrow if we get to the 16,000 likes. And we have added maybe 25 in the last 30 minutes or so. And they are going to present them in this video to Ryan. This video we will put on our Facebook page. Ryan is going to choose from the costumes that Brad and Trisha have selected. And Ryan is going to take into consideration your persuasion in the comments once we put that video up. And then Ryan's going to choose because Ryan is Ryan.
If we get to 17,000, is there something else that we might be able to? Because it sounds like we might get to 16.
I don't think we're going to get to 16.
If we get to 17, would you dress up in whatever it is for the next parade that we're in?
I'm hosting the Vitae Foundation event with Jason Chaffetz a week from Thursday.
Yeah, Jason Chaffetz.
You have to wear one of these costumes.
Why is she
to
dressed
that
as a
event.
banana? Why is she dressed as cheese sauce?
Annie walks up to the mic. Hello.
My name is Annie Frey. I'm not going to go any further.
Inigo Montoya.
Don't let it go. Yeah,
it's Olaf.
Yeah. Olaf was one of the possible. I was like, I like warm hugs. No, actually, I don't.
Wouldn't it be great if Jason Chaffetz just took that in stride? Just like, oh, okay, yeah, well, let's talk about it.
You look like a Inigo Montoya.
You ever seen the movie Princess Bride? Interesting. Well, let's go out on the stage. It just didn't even flinch.
I can't imagine. Well, Brad was there for the Trey Gowdy event that I did, and so I was sitting at the table with Trey Gowdy, and then I did the VIP thing in front. I was of all of the people who I've been around, like high profile people. He was super intimidating, but not because he was trying, just because he was there. It's his hair, I think.
Well, imagine that same scenario dressed as a banana. Or as Cheese Whiz.
Would that make me more comfortable or less comfortable?
I honestly think he would have looked at you and gone, "You're the co-host, just like Cheese Whiz? Interesting. Let's go." Okay, let's do this.
We all got a job here. Let's save the babies.
You know when my flight is?
You put that in the carry-on.
You gonna be using that when you're done?
So
I have a couple places I want to go.
Oh my gosh, people are just, oh goodness. We might get over 15,700 before the day is over.
I've got a question though.
Oh my gosh.
So like if you do have to dress up, are we supposed to dress up as well?
Panicking. Yes. Absolutely. I think you guys should all in good spirit support me.
We will support you in our street clothes while you are dressed as a giant banana or other.
Or as an unsexy adult dancer. Is that what you said? Is that how we put it?
An off the clock adult dancer.
Or a corn dog.
Just me in some sweats and Uggs.
Yeah, that was it.
Do you like my boots?
Says pink across your butt.
But it would be like my regular Target sweatpants, and I'm just gonna have to write pink on them.
It's a Victoria's Secrets brand for anybody wondering.
That looks a little weird. It looked like she hand wrote pink on her own butt.
While
Times
she
are
was
tough, she's
wearing her
gotta work.
pants. That's backwards. Upside down.
She's here, not on stage.
Trey Gowdy, you got pink on your butt? Looks like you hand wrote it. Let's go.
If we get if we get to 17,000, whatever I'm dressing up as, Ryan has to dress up as. How's that?
I'll write pink on my jeans.
All right. Whatever you make me do, if we get to 17, it's
Make Ryan
Ryan's.
bedazzle it on his jeans.
That's fine. You can bedazzle it, Brad. I'm not going to be in the jeans, though.
Really?
That's his idea. Want to let him have it.
Hey, guys, we got 4 minutes left.
What do you want to do?
Oh, that's a long. This is gonna be a long 4 minutes.
You want me to look back over the list of costume suggestions from last night that you weren't a part of, Annie?
Oh my gosh, the number is going up and up.
That's all we're doing is just watching the Facebook page and reporting on it.
And I'm getting anxious. This is not good.
You're turning red.
I am
Is
worried.
this anxiety?
Yeah, it's hot in here. I mean, seriously, I'm starting
it's actually
to.
it's quite nice in here. I think that's just anxiety.
I think it's a little chilly.
You know what? You are the kind of person who genuinely gets anxious about this stuff. Because it
This
just
is
seems like
not-
silly, dumb stuff to me. But you actually really get worried.
I have a pretty straight-laced brand. I'm wearing a sweater with a collared shirt underneath it right now.
Yeah, David Hasselhoff. And then Trisha said, how about unsexy David Hasselhoff?
That's not possible.
Stable
I don't think it is
Brad. Brad's got a David Hasselhoff thing. Man. Who knew that?
Who doesn't like the Hoff?
He also suggested Jedi or I'm assuming
it's supposed
Brad.
to say Sith. Yeah,
I was
saw
going
that.
to say I assume
you're
this
looking at the
at
group
the text
that you
thing
guys
from last
left
night
me
that
out of?
that we were trying to come up with. He said Jedi or Smith, which I was like, oh, okay, like Agent Smith or what? But he meant Sith from Star Wars.
Oh, is that what he meant?
That I did not know that.
Yeah,
I
gotta love autocorrect.
Ron
Right?
on
Yeah,
Facebook
gets
said,
me
"I
every
liked it just to see you dress up and look goofy." Thank you. That's what we're really going for here, Ron. Thank you.
Yeah, Ron gets it
Ron,
right on the money.
Exactly.
Sound a little bitter there, Annie.
I like
Well-
to see you dress up and look goofy.
Does it feel
Thanks,
personal
Ron.
when people like your page?
It's starting to.
Is there any politician that you would consider? Maybe a historical figure?
Yeah, I said I just don't want to dress up as someone to make fun of them for the way they. I don't want to make fun of a real person
Yeah.
for.
That's a shame.
Trisha looked at me like, "Oh, that's special."
Yeah.
Aw. That's like when
nice.
there's a parking spot outside that says no SUVs and I will not park in it. And Annie looked at me one time and goes, "You're so naive."
Oh, I park in those.
I was
I'm
like,
in a
"What? You
van.
park in it?
Squeeze
It says
in
no
there.
SUV oh, right there." And she's like, Ryan.
That's cute.
Yeah, that's cute of you.
You're so honest.
Yeah, so
And
I'm up
virtuous.
parking on the roof half the time, and she's walking in about 3 steps to the door. She breaks the rule. She's a rule breaker.
I don't drive an SUV. You
It's
drive
true.
an SUV.
Your car's literally like 5 feet longer than
no,
mine,
it's
though.
not. My car's smaller than your car because I have one of your cars and mine is smaller.
Oh, you got a couple of my cars, eh?
I have a car that is like your car that I'm not going to tell people what my other car is because they all know what the one I drive is normally. Yes, and it's smaller. It's compact.
I got really good news for you. The music's playing.
Yeah, I know. One of these costumes is legitimately Abraham Lincoln, guys. I don't
It's
want
like she'll
to
wear a
dress
beard,
up.
a hat.
I mean, it feels disrespectful. I don't know.
No, it's not too soon for that.
Would I
you'd be
rather
okay
be
with it.
Abraham Lincoln or a banana?
I will decide.
I know. I'll put the video up tonight when I get it put together. My heavens. Go like the Facebook page or don't, but do stick around because the Mark Reardon Show is coming up next.
We've done it again.
Golden Oak Lending has dropped rates even lower.
I'm James Hawkins, president of Golden Oak. With a 1.875% rate and home values up, you can get more cash out now.
Call 314-567-GOLD today and make no more